back to the bottom, 6 to go.
Makes a mistake again. He missed a shift. He's going to spin to the inside turn. He's going to take the lead.
Eli Hinton just got used up there in the hairpin. He's going to pick up a win after a long winless streak and visit victory lane. And the whole field just needs to get himself slowed down, hop these curves up and over. There's that cannon running a tad wide. Great restart here for the 2 car, but also for the 48. He crosses him over. Down into turn 1, there goes the tail. Here comes the 20 alongside. The 13 car gets turned. He's going to spin in turn 2.
One week ago, the Outsider Racing League took on the Monster Mile in Dover, Delaware. This week, we head up to the Northeast, even farther to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. This place is known as the Magic Mile, and it's about as different of a mile racetrack as you could get from Dover, where we were a week ago. My name's Kyle Heyer, and we're alongside Finian DeCunadite for SimTV as we head in to the penultimate round in the regular season for next week's regular season finale, heading into the chase, where 8 drivers will move on and compete for the championship at season's end. So tonight, 170 laps on tap around this 1 mile racetrack. And Finian, I don't think there's a whole lot of racetracks that can be more frustrating than New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Not a whole lot of banking at all around here. You got to push and shove and bump and bang to get any positions on the racetrack.
Yeah, indeed, you do, and it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be very physical between a lot of drivers tonight, and there's a lot of drivers tonight in general here. I think the field size is looking to be about 27, 28 cars here, so a lot of drivers on the track there, a lot of chance for passing, and I think it's going to be very aggressive.
Absolutely. You noted the big field size. We're looking over about 26, 27 cars here this evening, so quite a large field size. Last night, the Virtual Racing League didn't even make minimums, so after pretty much the same group of guys not making a showing last night, tonight we do make a showing, and by quite a big margin. So large field tonight, 170 laps on tap. You see Tim Downey Jr. starting his lap. See the time starting to filter in on the left-hand side of the screen. Jordan Ashland sitting in second right now. Eric Hutton is going to be our in-race reporter tonight. It's his first race of the season. He's out on track right now, then number 88, Pornhub Chevrolet Camaro. And I'm not joking. So,
no way.
So Eric he's here. He's got some fine-looking women on the hood of that race car.
My. Oh, there's even girls on the hood. Oh my.
So Eric's a fun-loving guy, and this is his first Cup race of the season, so I'm sure he's looking to have a lot of fun. Oh, and he slips and slides out of turn 2, and there goes his qualifying lap.
Reggie can't show this to his kids.
Mark Emerson also out on track. He's one of the drivers that's performing quite well in the point standings right now. He's second, 24 points behind Bailey Turner, and we take a look at the points heading into the final round next week of the regular season. And it's Eli Hinton, who's currently 8th place, 72 back from the lead. And 11 points behind him is Adam Cabot in the number 77. And I'm trying to see, I don't even know if Adam Cabot is here tonight. It doesn't appear that he is. So Cabot might be in trouble, but Alec Martinez in 10th place. He's also tied with that number 77, and Alec is here in the number 18. He's currently qualifying that Interstate Batteries Camaro, and Alec has been quite good this season, just hasn't had the consistency to stay up inside those point standings, so I'd be looking for him to be competitive tonight, and maybe even next week get himself into the chase.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier, there was a lot of cars on the track, and if I direct your attention at Brandon Bowers in the 31. Nope, he's not on the track. Never mind. I was going to say, have a new car on the track. The Ford Mustang is making its debut for these guys.
Also, isn't Joshua Banks usually the 35 car?
Yes.
He's the 36 tonight.
Oh.
So a slightly different number for him. A couple drivers that are new to the series, or at least new this week, or haven't been around in a week. Gerald Campbell in the 66, Brian Long in the 08. Brandon Bowers is back. We mentioned him before. Brandon Gagnon's back in the 83. He missed a couple weeks. So a couple of drivers that we haven't seen either ever or in a while are out here. But AJ Stravato wins pole in that number 33 machine. And this season has been kind of a comeback from the first couple races, Finian. Switched numbers, and ever since he switched that number, that monkey has gotten kind of off his back. He's been performing a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he's. I was gonna say he's not that many points out, but from the getting into the chase, I mean, he's still a bit ways out. However, we can hope for some bad luck for Eli Hinton. He can definitely get himself back in there, especially if he keeps on the pace that he's currently at with a nice pole position here at New Hampshire. We'll see what he can do in the next coming weeks.
All right, so Bruce Boyer in that 14, also a pretty decent starting spot for him within the first couple rows. How about the one car of Yusuf Ghali back here in a Chevrolet Camaro, and he's got Target and Axe on the side of that machine, so new sponsors this week. But up front, Josiah Vincent. How about that qualifying effort by the driver of the number 4 Vincent Motorsports car? Up inside the top, for the front row, rather, and he'll be starting on the outside. And Finian, the outside, we raced the VRL race last night. You kind of want to be up somewhere around the middle of the racetrack. The bottom is a no-go zone, and the top is also no grip up there. So it's kind of playing in between the inside and outside grooves and trying to find that sweet spot for these cars to rotate. It'd be very frustrating. We might see some pushing and shoving later in the runs.
Yeah, definitely expect to see some of that, especially considering it's a penultimate round of the regular season. So a lot of guys still trying to jostle for position, get their final chance at getting into the playoffs. They only got 2 races to do so, and next week we're going to the Roval.
Yeah, that's one heck of a place to round out your season. But take a look at the track map for New Hampshire. Finian, it's over a mile, so it's not technically a short track, but it races so much like a short track. A lot of brake, a lot of throttle, and a lot of waiting to get back on throttle. So this very much races like a short track, and I honestly consider it kind of a short track just because it races so much like one. And the frustrations and the tempers that tend to rise here, very similar to a short track configuration like Bristol or Martinsville. It almost looks like a bit wider and a bit longer Martinsville Speedway, and I think we'll see something very similar to that tonight. So Eric Hutton, again, is our in-race reporter this evening. We'll talk to him at some point if we get a caution flag later in the night. But as the field rolls off here, let's take a look at your starting lineup on the front row. It's going to be AJ Stravato in the number 33 Toyota Camry. It's one of his first poles of the season alongside Josiah Vincent in that number 4 car on the outside of the front row. Then in third place, Joshua Banks in the number 36 alongside Elliott Butler in the number 6 car. Those guys round out row number 2. Row number 3, Alec Martinez starting 5th alongside the 13 of Eli Hinton in that number 13 Sim Motorsports Toyota Camry. And then 7th, Jordan Ashland, the number 27 Chevrolet Camaro. Jeff Wright, the number 48 Toyota Camry, has a victory to his name this season. In 9th, Tim Downey Jr., the number 25 Dark Smoke car alongside Yusuf Ghali in the number 1 Axe Target Energizer Camaro. And that rounds out your top 10. The rest of the field is going to scroll along the bottom of your screen, but let's head back up toward the front. 4 of Josiah Vincent and the 33 of AJ Stravato. They are your front row, your pole sitters. And rolling through turns 3 and 4, 170 laps. About an hour and 20 minutes of green flag racing if it goes green to the end from here. And that's a long race. Green flag flies, racing in Loudon.
And a great start for Stravato. Oh, he's going to pull off the track.
Pulls down to the inside groove. And a shocking start. Something wrong with that 33? Is he just getting out of the way? Not sure what's up with that. But
he's going all the way to the back.
Oh, spin! The 6 car around and damage to the 18 as well. So caution out as we start here. And Butler spun out at the 33 all the way off the pace. What happened here, guys? What a mess.
I figured out what happened to Stravato, but yeah, let's take a look at what happened for the second wreck.
The 4 of Vincent smashed into the wall off turn 2, and that's where the 6 car kind of bounced off of him. So just a big mess out of turn 2. You see the 4 car tries to exit the corner, gets in the throttle, smacks the wall. The 6 gets turned right in front of the 18. I think the 21, is that Chambliss? Nope, that's not Chambliss. Who's that other car that got in there?
Martinez?
No, it's the car that hit Martinez in the rear.
Oh, that is Ashland.
Jordan Ashland in the 27. There he is. I think his car has some damage, but it's not huge. Let's ride on board with the 27, see his perspective.
And he has just not been able to find some luck this season.
Yeah, just a big pileup. Eli Hinton did a good job slamming on those brakes to get on through. He sits 3rd after starting back in row number 3, and now Ashland and it looks like Alec Martinez and the 4 Josiah Vincent all come to pit lane along with the 8 of Jeremiah Vincent, excuse me.
Yeah, and okay, so what happened to Stravato on the start? He missed a gear.
Oh! And he just decided to drop all the way to the back to get out of the way, I assume.
Yeah.
Well, that was certainly a kind of a mess of a start. Joshua Banks is your leader. How about this guy, Finian? Actually, who ended up winning last week? I don't remember off the top of my head. Was it Joshua Banks?
I don't remember either.
let me see if I can pull up the.
Yeah, it was Joshua Banks.
Yeah, so Joshua Banks got what must have been his second win of the season.
Yes.
Yes. So he has 2.
Oh, it should be third.
Wins Joshua Banks. No, he only has 1 recorded.
Oh.
So it was only his first win of the season. He should have about 3 wins, but he's gotten so unlucky with the internet dropping out on him. But sometimes things aren't just meant to be. But last week at Dover, he won an at-mile racetrack, and leading this one here early in the going, Eli Hinton sits in second, Jeff Wright third, Tim Downey Jr. fourth, Yusuf Ghali in fifth. So as quick as we started, we're back under yellow here. Only got through about a corner and a half before the yellow waved.
Yeah, and actually that was a good break for Stravato, who's currently back all the way in 21st. He'll get a chance to kind of repay for his mistake there from first to 20 to the back of the field in 1 lap. So he's going to have a lot of work on his hands here tonight.
The other thing to note, Finney, and I'm looking at the manufacturers, there's a whole lot of Toyotas and a whole lot of Chevys, but Ford's hard to find right now. I think there's only a few. And I'm
There are
trying
only
to,
2, I believe, from my count.
and one of them is Brandon Bowers in the Space Force 31. That's a great-looking race car. I was very critical of the Mustang when it first launched, Finian, but it was a good-looking machine out there.
Yeah, it looks very nice in the sim. In fact, right in front of Bowers, Eddie Trejo's and the other Mustang here tonight. Only 2 of them out there.
So Stravato had third gear issues, and that is what caused that stack up on the start. And I venture to say that might have caused the incident in turn 2, just because everyone saw that car slow and was jumping on it to try to find some pace. And the Ford car just got a little bit tight out of turn 2, got on the throttle too early. And that's the thing, you have to be patient on the throttle. You can't just slam it down and expect the car to stick, because it won't. Even with this higher downforce, you're not going to have the grip to stick in line. So you have to be very patient. The field's going to double back up. And we'll try this again. Joshua Banks is going to be your leader for the restart.
And that run from Tim Downey Jr. in the 25 up into 4th place so far. He's having a really good night so far, even though it's only lap 5.
Angelo Ronis in the 29 car all the way towards the rear. There's Elliott Butler catching back up, fixing that damage. One of the other Fords on pit lane, is that the 31 machine? Yes, it is Brandon Bowers. The field getting doubled back up again behind the Ford FR500 Mustang pace car. And that pace car is 2 generations older than the Mustangs in the field. No, 36 Chevrolet, 13 Toyota Camry, then 2 Toyotas behind, then 2 Chevys behind that. We'll try this again, lap number 6 of this 170-lap race. And Banks is going to lead them back down to the green flag. And green flag back in the air here in Loudon.
Yeah, and a great start for Joshua Banks. He's going to keep the lead as he heads up into turn 1. Eli Hinton trying to beat out the 48 of Jeff Wright for second. He'll do just exactly that as they head off through turn 2.
Brian Long trying to get purchase to the inside of the 25 out of turn 2. Now, does anyone make the same mistake Josiah Vincent did? No. We get through that corner cleanly. So the 13 is inherited in second place. Ortega in the number 2 car is trying to work the inside of the 25 as well. And there's some action midfield. There's Alec Martinez. He's got that car mostly repaired, trying to claw back his positions he lost early after starting 5th.
Whoa, the Bruce
That's
Boyer
Boyer.
sideways.
And caution flies. And, he tags the 30 of Jeremy Miller and sends him around right into Lakatos in the 50. And a dead stop out of turn 2, and that's Stravato parked. And Elliott Butler once again stuck in line. That is just brutal for those 2 cars that both had issues at the start. And now the 33's got some significant front-end damage as well. That's just the cost of being in the back. Caution out again the second time, and it started, I believe, with the 14 of Bruce Boyer. The caution had already waved.
Yeah, he did a hell of a job saving that car in turn 1.
He got hit from behind with the 88. Here's a look from up above. Watch the 88 car of Eric Hutton. They're going to get down into turn 1, and the 30 car jumps on the brakes. The 14 does as well. Then he gets turned. The caution flies, and then he snaps back to the right and collects the 30 car, who spins in front of Lakatos. And then they come to a stop, and the 33 and 6 get into it. So big mess there out of turn 2 already. And watch this for the onboard Brandon Bowers in the 31. After this had all happened, he was trying to roll on through. And he almost got run into just putting through the crash scene here.
A few guys down on pit road. I think most of them still trying to fix some damage in them. Man, tough break for Stravato. started on pole, everything looked like it was going his way, had that misshift at the start, fell to the back, was looking like he was trying to get back up, and then immediately got involved in another incident.
Yeah, not the way you want to start your day, but that car has some significant damage now, and it's not going to drive the same from here on out, so that's really rough for Stravato. So up front, though, Joshua Banks, he's loving this right now in that 36 car, leading laps without doing a whole lot of work. You doing okay over there?
Oh, man, if you can, try to find a way to look at the back roof of Eric Hutton. Oh, man, I can't believe you put that there.
I can barely make out that it says something.
You want me to tell you what it says?
We're right on board with Alex Bell here. Sure, go ahead.
It's our account. It's a link to our account.
Oh, no. Oh, boy. Eric has got a good sense of humor. We'll talk to him later tonight, but that is funny. I wish I could see that better. Maybe when he rolls by here. Can't quite get the zoom that I need. Well, he's a funny guy. All right, caution out here for the second time today. We're 10 laps in this 170-lap race, and the pace has been slowed by 2 accidents, the first of which the 6-car of Elliott Butler and the 4 of Josiah Vincent getting turned around in turn 2, and then just most recently the 14 of Bruce Boyer off the bumper of the 88. Should get the 1 to green next time through, and Finian, the pace is slow here early, but we imagine once these guys get spread out, it'll be pretty clean and green.
Oh yeah, definitely imagine so. And looking at after the 2 incidents we've had, everyone, all 26 starters are still running around. Everyone's still in the lead lap, so pretty much everyone getting ready to go again. But some big movers so far through the field. Eric Hutton from 21st to 11th, and Brian Long from 14th to 5th. Both those guys have moved up quite a few spots since the start.
Field getting set back up. How about Brian Long in that 08? You just mentioned him, but that's a good run early in the going here. P5 for that green and gray vehicle at the moment, and running, I think it's Speedworks on the side of that car. What does that say?
Speedworks Attitude?
Speed with Attitude on the side of that number 08. Had a good run so far. Got into tight quarters earlier. How about Mark Emerson, who's second in the point standings to the 24 Bailey Turner? Bailey Turner is not here tonight. So he's going to lose the points lead if Mark Emerson finishes in the top 5 tonight.
Yeah, I mean, considering that it takes that much to kick Bailey Turner out of the lead, I think that really shows how consistent that 24 has been all season long.
Absolutely. So field rolling out at turn 4. We'll try it again for a 3rd time. Joshua Banks and Eli Hinton on the front row. Yusuf Ghali's up to P4 with Jeff Wright in that 48 on the inside of row number 2. Green flag flying again, and Joshua Banks, a good restart again for him. A stack up in the outside lane. Checking up in the background, the 6-car got into the back of the 14 of Boyer as we head off into turn 1. I think we'll get rolling this time through.
Yeah, and Jeff Wright and the 1 of Yusuf Ghali fighting side by side for 3rd place. Neither guy giving an inch.
And trying to get strung out. You're going to see that middle lane really kind of straddling where that pavement color changes. That's where we're going to see a lot of drivers hanging out.
Ooh, big battle for 8th place, looks like, between Mark Emerson and the 66 of Jared Campbell.
And Gerald Campbell, new entry, or at least a newly returned entry right now. And right behind them, Mark Emerson, Eric Hutton. And Emerson's going to go to the outside of the 66. Car in the fence out of 2. I think it was the 08 of Long. But now it's the 66 on the bottom. You can kind of make that groove work the first couple laps after restart, but it doesn't look like it's working right now. 3 wide behind him for a moment. And that was the 5 of Christopher, the 15 of Alex Bell, and the 18 of Martinez.
4-car just hit the wall hard out of 4.
That's the 2nd time he's pounded the wall. And Josiah Vincent tonight, that right side is all torn to pieces, as is the rear bumper of Jeremy Miller. Alec Martinez trying to recover from that early incident he was involved in. Nothing that he did wrong there.
Ooh, Mark Emerson in the 66 just made some very close contact, almost made contact coming out of 4.
I saw that just off in front of the 18. And they're still going at it pretty hard up here, Finian. And again, you have to lean on each other to pass here at New Hampshire. It's very difficult to get passes done, especially once the run gets rolling. So you have to be so aggressive and lean on each other a little bit to make those passes happen. Now Eric Hutton trying to put pressure on the back of the 66. Going to go up the racetrack. There's Jordan Ashland trying to recover from his damage he had early in the going.
Yeah, Alex Bell trying to work to the inside of him, but yeah, tough break for Ashland so far. Already got damage in the early part of this race. Here comes Alex Bell to his inside.
All Joshua Banks out up front by 0.2 of a second over Eli Hinton. Bell loose on the inside of the 27. Now looking for fourth place, or rather third. That's Yusuf Ghali under attack from the 48 of Jeff Wright. And Jeff Wright's going to take that spot away and slide up in front of the 1. Pass complete.
Yeah, great job by the 48. Now he's going to set his sights up toward the front of the field. Try to chase down the leaders.
Brandon Bowers in that Space Force Ford Mustang riding around in 19th at the moment. Clouds have come over the speedway, Finney. We haven't talked about weather yet today as we take a look at the 66 of Campbell trying to launch and fight back on Emerson. But right now, conditions 93 degrees. That's relatively cool, mostly cloudy skies. It's going to be a grippy racetrack for sure tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be grippy racetrack. However, it's going to take longer after an update from iRacing adjusting the effect of the clouds coming over. It's not going to be as drastic of a change as we've seen in the past, but definitely going to be a change after a while.
You know, I saw that in the release notes. I thought it would be a lot more subdued. Oh, the 27 hit the wall at turn 2. I thought that effect would be subdued, but after watching Spec MX5 last week, Finian, the effect still, the temperature still swings pretty rapidly, more rapidly than I would think after the update has been done. So we'll keep an eye on the track temp, but it's already fluctuated a couple degrees since we've been watching it, so we'll keep an eye on it throughout the night. Ooh, the 66 launched it into turn 1 to the inside of the 22, who's stuck in behind Tim Downey Jr., but that 66 couldn't unwind the wheel and now has the 88 on the outside trying to get his way through.
Emerson, Campbell, and Hutton have just not been able to get away from each other. The 66 is going to dive it all the way down here, but here comes Downey Jr. on the outside with the run.
All that you gain on entry, you lose on exit, but made up a lot of ground through that corner and is doing a great job working the inside lane. One of the only drivers I've seen trying to make that groove work. Dives off into 1 and completes that pass. Ooh, Downey Jr. almost got a face full of the 88 of Eric Hutton out of turn 2, but Hutton got around Emerson and the 25 in one corner. It looks like Tim Downey Jr. is struggling right now.
Yeah, he's getting freight trained by guys on the inside, and he's just going to get pushed to the back here.
Alex Bell trying to get up with his teammate up in the front. Ooh, 25 and 80, or 22, got really close together out of turn 4. And right on each other's door down into turn 1, but no harm, no foul. They're still side by side. Alex Bell wants a piece of the fight, and Jordan Ashton wants a piece of the cake as well.
Yeah, Ashton working way around, and you're seeing this is kind of similar to Martinsville. Once you get pushed out of the groove, everyone's going to go for it and try to make a pass happen.
Bell working the inside lane. Tim Downey Jr. trying the inside as well. Brian Long has caught Jeff Wright for third place. We'll keep our eye on Alex Bell right now as he tries to attack that 27 into turn 1.
He's going to work to the inside. Here comes Martinez on the outside, and he's going to get a good run.
27 almost scraped the fence out of turn 2 again, but Bell couldn't get a good enough run to complete that pass. Angelo Ronas in that 29. He started in 24th. He's up to 15th right now and still climbing, running very competitive lap times and just trying to find a way around.
Yeah, the beautiful Logitech paint schemes. I don't know what it is with the 29 Aronas, but he always has some fantastic paint schemes on his car.
Absolutely. And right behind him, that's AJ Stravato in the 33 trying to recover from the 2 early incidents he was involved in, but a lot of damage on that car. It's definitely not going to be as good as it was earlier. Up for second place, though, Jeff Wright has caught Eli Hinton.
Yeah, I was going to say the 13 starting to fall off the pace. Wright starting to move up the field. He honestly is looking like he's going to be one of the fastest cars tonight.
Jeff Wright has a win to his name back at Sonoma Raceway, the second race of the season. And he won at the road course there, and he was very competitive and almost won the Indianapolis road course a few weeks ago. Oh, the crash in the background. The 6-car of Elliott Butler and the 50 of Lacatus spinning out of turn 2. Caution out again. This is not what Butler needed. And Elliott Butler is 5th in the point standings right now, but it's a pretty close fight on back to Eli Hinton in 8th. So he's got to be careful not to make this night worse than it already is. So he and Lacatus were fighting out of turn 2. He just got loose all by himself and spun into the wall. Lacatus just an innocent victim there. And wow, Eddie Trejo did a spectacular job missing that. That could have been a big incident for the 11. Let's ride on board him.
Whoa.
Wow, excellent job that Trejo did there. A relatively straightforward
Wow.
accident.
Yeah, that was amazing. He really waited to the last second to decide that, but did a great job avoiding.
Yeah, sometimes you have to kind of, get slow down and just think about the situation before you make a move. Like last night, the Virtual Racing League race, when the 18 of Martinez got turned around in front of me, I had nowhere to go, waiting too long to make a decision. So sometimes you have to just think about it, but sometimes you have to make a decision on the spot. Field down pit lane, Finian.
Yeah, everyone down on pit lane, he had a pretty solid run for 15 laps. Got enough to wear out the tires, so let's see if anyone's going to try anything or if it's just going to be straightforward pit strategy.
And looks like the 8 car of Jeremiah Vincent's trying something. He's going to roll out of pit lane. 2-tire stop for him, as for Brennan Gagnon in the 83. And
Oh man, it was mighty close between the 35 and the 13.
36 in the 13 tonight.
Sorry, 36.
But Gagnon stays out in that 80, or doesn't stay out. He took 2 tires in that 83 and a couple 2-tire stops. It's kind of shook up the field quite a bit, and we've seen what this can lead to. But honestly, 25 laps in, I'm liking the call for 2 tires. Couple drivers coming back down, though. Eddie Trejo, one of them. But Casey Lakatos, he's staying out. We've seen him play this strategy a bunch of times.
Yeah, and I definitely think, honestly, if there was any track to play 2 tires, I think this is definitely one of them. I think the track position is much more worth it than the tire wear. You're going to get a lot of spots, and he's honestly probably not going to lose that many spots on the restart. They might lose a little bit at the beginning, but over the course of the run, I don't think it's going to be that bad for them.
So a bunch of damaged cars here early at New Hampshire, and this has been kind of a race of attrition so far. But I think there's a lot of drivers like Eli Hinton, who is currently on the bubble for the chase situation. He's looking at this and chomping at the bit to get this race over with so he can gain all these points on these cars that are wrecked. Like the 6 of Elliott Butler has had a terrible day so far, and Butler's 5th in the point standing. So if Butler falls down, that gives opportunity to the drivers on the bubble. So 3 cautions here early in the going, the first 27 laps of this race, 170 total this evening. And it's Brian Chambliss leading right now. Jeremiah Vincent sitting in 2nd. Joshua Banks 3rd. Eli Hinton in 4th. Here at Loudon, New Hampshire.
Ooh, Casey Lakatos was given an EOL penalty. Not sure why. Might have been an infraction on pit road.
Could be, but an EOL for the 50 of Lakatos. And he'll head to the back of the field for the restart. So Jeremiah Vincent takes over the lead in that 8 car, did a 2-tire stop. Joshua Banks in the 36 did a 4-tire stop. So the 8 and the 29 are on 2 tires, and everyone else is on 4. So I'm curious to see if Vincent and Ronis can hang on and how long they can hang on for. Rolling through turns 3 and 4, the 13 lined up behind the 8. He's had a couple rough weeks trying to get some trust back in the field after his win at ISM Raceway a few weeks ago. It kind of made a lot of people upset, but the green flag back in the air here again.
Ooh, and here they go off into turn 1. You see Banks still going to be on the outside. I think Vince is going to get it. He's going to slide the door in front. Oh!
13 gets into the back of the 36, and the 36 still sliding out of turn 2, and the field scrambling to try to get around him. The one of Golly goes high, and the 36 all over the back of the 13 now as they head into turn 3. Maybe some payback here is shoved to the back bumper of Hinton.
Yeah, he tried to give a shove in retaliation, but the 13 is going to drive away from the 36 for now, although he's side by side with the one of Yusuf Ghali, and here comes Jeff Wright for the lead.
A lot of pushing and shoving right now down into turn 1, the 13 to the inside of Ghali. And now the 36 of Joshua Banks backing up to the 2 of Ortega. Hinton loose out of turn 2, so is Ronis sideways as well.
Yeah, remember Ronis on those 2 tires, he's struggling for grip right now, just trying to make sure he doesn't lose too many spots.
Jack ups the 36 back to the rear bumper of the 13. I don't think this is done quite yet.
Oh yeah, he's definitely not happy with that 13 to Hinton. Oh, Yusuf Ghali trying to make it 3 wide, almost doors Ortega.
Oh, that was real tight. The 8 car gets turned off a netcode down in turn 1. He spins into the wall and gets drilled by the 6 of Butler again. And could that day be any more hellacious for the 6 of Butler?
Nice word.
It's just been such a rough day. This is just the week from hell for the 6-car of Elliott Butler. Been involved in 3 incidents tonight out of the 4 that we've had, and he had nowhere to go.
Yeah, and the only reason he actually went up high, he was actually a lane below the 8 car. He was trying to brake for it, got loose, and it overcorrected it into the 8.
Here's a look from on board the 6 car. And that was total net code down there in turn 1. It was about 10 feet of net code, and yeah, he slipped and slid, and the 33 Estravado also got a piece of it. And so did Brian Chambliss in the 21. But I'm not sure if the net code will show this time, but it for sure was about 10 to 15 feet when it first happened.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was looking at it. It was really bad. And
oh, man.
Tough break for Vincent, too, because, I mean, that accident shouldn't have happened. Golly, they gave each other enough room, but yeah, just unfortunate circumstances here.
Unfortunate circumstances again. So the 4th caution slowing the pace here early. I hate how that flagman waves that yellow flag. It is so stupid looking. It is so stupid looking. It's like he's like trying to get something off his hand. Like it's like stuck to his hand. And then he just holds it there like a torch. Oh man, iRacing. It's a really cool looking feature, but
the funny thing is, I remember the previous flagger that they had initially. I remember him actually doing a decent job. So I don't know why they didn't just. I'm sure they had it somewhere lying around the animation.
Well, I'm sure they motion capped that whole flag waving sequence, but why they motion cap like the worst guy in the world waving the flag? They could have gotten any local short track flagman. It would have been 10 times better than that. But it's funny. We're just joking. It's a good-looking feature. I just wish that they got an actual flagman to do it. Also, does his arm not get tired holding that flag there for 5 laps?
Yeah. I would think it is, but I guess he gets paid the big bucks for it.
All right, well, caution out again for the 4th time tonight, and it's been kind of a round-and-round race. We've had 3 lead changes. Jeff Wright, your current leader. And how about the contact between the 13 and the 36? Those guys are not happy with each other.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious to see where they line up. And actually, the 36, I think he came down pit road. Yes, he did. So Banks is going to find himself in the back of the field here. Yeah, I'm curious, will the tires be worth it for him?
I don't know. I mean, so the 8 car and the 29 car took 2 tires in the last stop, and both of them dropped down the order. The 8 car spun out, but the 29, he dropped down the order a couple spots. So I really don't know if that was worth it. To try the 2-tire stop. I think we've seen in the past, some racetracks it doesn't seem to matter, but some racetracks it's very, very sensitive, and this might be one of them.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised because I honestly would have thought the opposite, but clearly the tires do matter for these guys, and I think a lot of them are going to have to keep it in mind.
So we're working our way to lap number 35 now, and again, we've had 12 caution laps, so almost a third, actually more than a third of our race laps have been under yellow. We're losing cars left and right. We don't have any DNFs yet. And everyone except Jeremiah Vincent and Casey Lakatis are on the lead lap. I think Jeremiah Vincent might be DNF. That car's pretty well destroyed. But a lot of minorly damaged cars, but no major damage to any of our front runners. So let's line back up for the restart again. And try to go green for the 5th time. How about Reggie Ortega sitting in 3rd? That 2 Hertz Camaro in a great spot for the restart.
Yeah, he's been a dark horse for a lot of these races, and has performed quite well. Hasn't been able to get as many wins as I think he would have liked, but I mean, here he is sitting right in 3rd. Got a long ways to go still, but I mean, we might want to keep an eye on the 2 car.
And of course, Reggie Ortega has that win from Martinsville back towards the beginning of the season. A very popular win indeed. But field rolling through turns 3 and 4. Eli Hinton on the outside now in front of Eric Hutton. On the inside, it's Jeff Wright and Reggie Ortega. Caution flag extinguishes. The green flag is going to fly back in the air, and we're racing again here at Loudon.
Jeff Wright's going to take the lead fairly easily, but that 13 Eli Hinton, we've seen him very strong on the restarts here. Will he be able to challenge that 48?
Ooh, I think that's a 08 of Brian Long popping out of line. He tried to make it 3 wide on the inside of Jeremy Miller and the 31 of Brandon Bowers, but didn't choose to do that. Up the road, Jordan Ashland and Tim Downey Jr., they're side by side for 5th. Off into turn 1. Now there's Alec Martinez trying to recover. He started 5th tonight. Got involved in a wreck. Oh, stack up there, and he gets turned again. Off the 15 of Alex Bell, right back up the racetrack. Collects the 5 of Christopher and the 1 of Yusuf Ghali. No caution this time. There it is again. And the cautions continue. And it's just been a mess of a start. This is not typical of the Outsider Racing League by any stretch of the imagination. Typically one of the lowest caution counts of the week, but Finney in a big field and frustrating circumstances and a racetrack that is difficult to pass at leads to this kind of situation.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I think the problem is, just the way this track is it's tough for these guys to get spaced out. And I think, as you've seen, once they get spaced out, it's pretty comp racing. But yeah, it's just the first few laps that are the killer.
Here's the 18, and he gets off into turn 1, and Alex Bell just drifts up the racetrack and just tags the 18. And then the 18 bounces off the 15, and the 5 of Stouffer got a big piece of that. And then, of course, the 1 of Ghali spun around trying to miss it all. So another big mess, and we're back under caution again here. Cautions breed cautions, as they say. All right, I think we'll jump to break just for a moment to catch our breath here, get a drink of water, and we'll be back in just a moment. Not missing anything, under caution here for the 5th time here at New Hampshire. Field rolling through turns 3 and turns 4 after a bunch of yellows to start off this race. Lap 41 of 170. Got about an hour left in this race if it goes green to the end from here. Clouds come over the speedway. The restarts have been aggressive. Flagman's got the yellow in his hand, but he's going to drop it and bring out that green flag. And the 48 of Jeff Wright takes him back to the green.
Yeah, fantastic start for him. And also Ortega he's going to battle side by side with the 13.
Off into turn 1. We've seen lots of incidents down here. So far, so good for this restart as we make our way out of turn 2.
Ooh, Downey Jr. and Mark Emerson almost making contact side by side for them.
A 66 car way down to the inside. That's Gerald Campbell And the 66 making up ground on the 4 of Josiah Vincent. 27 of Ashland clears Tim Downey Jr. There's Angelo Ronas tucked back in there in 10th. And how about Brandon Bowers in the 31? He's slowly working his way forward. Started the night all the way back in 26th. He's running 8th right now.
Yeah, also Ronas, too, started back in 24th all the way up to 10th, so it's a good movement. And actually, Eric Hutton started back 21st all the way up to 4th.
Oh, 31 way up the racetrack. Almost scrapes the wall. He's to lose 3, 4, maybe 5 spots in one corner. And here comes the 33 of Stravato, and Bowers way off the pace out of turn 4.
Yeah, I'm amazed Stravato's doing as well as he is, up into 11th now as he comes across the line.
Stravato's really trying to make something from nothing, as Elliott Butler has had a terrible night. He's in 21st. Still kind of in the danger zone if more incidents happen. And side by side in front of him, that's the 21 of Brian Chambliss and the 5 of Chris Stouffer fighting for 18th.
Stravato and Bowers still side by side, neither guy giving an inch.
And Bruce Boyer fighting back from his spin earlier in the night. All over the back of that Ford Mustang.
Yeah, he's not giving any room. He's trying to make one of these guys make a mistake.
Oh, he's loose off into turn 3. You see up above, Tim Downey Jr. He's fighting, I believe that is the 08 car up the road of Brian Long. They're side by side. It's Ronas there as well.
It's actually Joshua Banks, and then whoa, almost gets sideways into the 25.
The 08 Brian Long just in front of these guys. Thank you for the correction. Very similar looking paints. Stravato gets down low on the exit of turn 2. Now the 36 dives off into turn 3. Tries to clear the 25, and he does. The 25 is going to try to cross him over on corner exit. Downey Jr. gets the run, but I think he's going to get cleared here by the 36, and Banks retakes 8th place. There's Yusuf.
So far, everyone somewhat spread out.
Yusuf Ghali in the 1 car all over the back of the 30 of Jeremy Miller. Lots of damaged race cars throughout the field. And the 66 really slow in the background. That's Gerald Campbell, and he's off the pace. No damage on that race car, but just trying to stay out of the fray for now, I imagine.
Yeah, it sucks also for Yusuf Ghali. That 1 car was looking very fast in the early running, but with some damage to that car and lost of track position, he's just trying to move himself back up.
Brandon Bowers slipped quite a bit ways back. It was as high as 8th and is down in 12th now after a slip up a few laps ago. And let's check back up front. It's all Jeff Wright by 0.6 of a second. Then Eli Hinton, Reggie Ortega, and Eric Hutton, his first Cup race of the season. Running in 4th right now, chasing down 3rd place Reggie Ortega.
Yeah, defending champion effectively retired after, or took the season off to admin. For this series this season, but came back for 1 race, and you can see that he has not dropped off his form.
Was a competitor for the championship, ended up winning that championship, I believe, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the season with an incredible battle with Connor Horn, and both those drivers did not return to the series for different reasons, but Hutton jumping back into the mix, you mentioned it, he hasn't dropped any of that pace.
Oh, Emerson just hit the wall, trying to get himself in line. Here comes Joshua Banks, and he's fighting back for his spots.
Yeah, shower of sparks off into turn 1 for the 22 of Emerson. Front 4 have kind of broken away. It's 48 of Jeff Wright, Hinton, Ortega, and Hutton, then Ashland in 5th. That's where the battle we're watching now is. And Joshua Banks clawing his way back up into 6th. And just behind, Tim Downey Jr. all over the place with the 29 of Ronas all over him.
Yeah, and here comes actually Bruce Boyer to his inside, and Boyer going to shove it in the corner. He's going to try to make it stick.
And he does. He clears him. Bruce Boyer up to 9th.
Whoa, spin on the back straightaway with Emerson and Brian Long.
Oh.
No caution.
So Emerson and Long spin out, and the 08 still parked sideways on the back straight. They get wreck rolling again. But what happened to the 22 and the 08? Oh, they just got together. The 08 hit the inside wall, but let's look from up above. Oh, Long just slipped out. Corner exit, just drove up into the door of the 22. And for Emerson, he'd like to have a good night tonight to close up that gap to Bailey Turner, because Turner's not here. This is a prime opportunity to gain positions in the points. Reggie Ortega under attack from Eric Hutton now as Hutton works the inside.
Yeah, Hutton we've seen starting to become a threat in this race. Had a good car early, but here he is trying to emerge as one of the stronger ones.
Yeah, couldn't quite get the power down on corner exit and slipped up a little bit. That let the 2 car get third place back for now, but I don't think this battle's over yet. The 88's definitely quicker.
Oh, it's definitely not over, and also there's a number 36 car, Joshua Banks. He's starting to close in.
Banks has a lot of pace tonight, that's for sure. Led some of this race earlier.
Wow, ran 3/10 faster than Eric Hutton last lap through. He is getting there.
Hutton trying to clear the 2 car of Ortega, still on the inside of the 2. And now they're door to door. I think we'll see the 88 dive off into turn 3. He's going to head to the low side of the racetrack. Can he get enough turn in? Not quite. The 2 cars going to out drag him here through the middle of 3 and 4. Still side by side out of turn 4 now.
Yeah, Ortega trying to pinch Hutton down, but Hutton's able to keep that inside lane going.
Very clean racing up here for the 3rd spot. We've gotten a couple laps of green under our belt now. The 88 and 2 continue to battle here. I wonder if Ortega will just let the 88 have this or if he'll fight it for a little longer.
He's going to keep fighting it. I think he's trying to kind of force his way clear of the 2 on the inside lane. Just hasn't been able to do so. He's so close right now. Just a slight fender from the 2.
Inch by inch, the 88 trying to gain purchase on the 2, but Ortega drives in hard. Is it hard enough, though? Still side by side, no advantage to either as they make their way off of turn 2. Dead even down the back straight. It's a drag race.
They actually lost some ground to the 2 that through 1 and 2 that time. Here he's going to try to send it in 3. Can't quite get around, and Ortega's still going to be fighting with him on the outside. You can see that 36 of Banks closing up ever so slightly every lap.
It's a great battle here. The 88 definitely quicker on entry, but loses a lot of ground in the middle of the corner to the 2. He had him cleared for a moment, but Ortega says no. Back to the outside. Strong run for the 2 car of Ortega.
But he's not quite there. It actually slipped up an exit. Here comes Eric Hutton's chance to clear him.
Side by side for 3rd, and Eric Hutton takes the spot away. Elliott Butler back in the 6 car. I think he's gained some spots back after his incidents in the 18th spot, side by side with Trejo. Out front, though, it's all Jeff Wright in the number 48. He's been strong. His win at Sonoma a few weeks into the season, early in the going, and then almost won at the Indianapolis road course again. He's eyeing that Roval next week to get his 2nd win of the season.
Yeah, that honestly next week is, I gotta say, is a pretty big wild card. A lot of things can happen. A lot of guys can find some trouble there. That track will bite you if you're not careful.
Boyer around Jordan Ashland for 6th place, and he gets that spot cleanly out of turn 4. That damage doesn't seem to be hurting Ashland that much. I mean, he drove into the back of someone earlier in an accident, and it's still pretty well crumpled up, but it doesn't seem like it's hurting his performance all that much.
Yeah, and up ahead of him, battle for 4th place, heating up Ortega, and Banks starting to go at it.
Banks all over the back of the 2 car, up right on the rear bumper. We've seen drivers get into that accordion effect before where they kind of run into each other and stack up the field, but no one behind him now. And Banks just trying to run up to the back of that 2 car. And he's going to look to the inside and into turn 1, holds him out there, and just inches off the quarter panel. Got to be careful with all that net code we've been seeing.
Yeah, and Ortega looks like he's going to give it up to the 36. I think realize that he's faster. He's going to settle in back into 5th place.
So top 5 have all kind of sorted themselves out. There's a big battle back here for, looks like 9th place, Ronas, Downey Jr., Vincent, Martinez, and Miller. And you can add Yusuf Ghali into this mix as well. Lap 61 here, finishing the longest green flag run we've had tonight. We've gone 35 laps 28 laps since the restart here. And that's a pretty long run. 35 for the drivers that have stayed out the longest. When are we thinking about pit stops? Maybe lap 50 into the run?
Yeah, I think about probably lap 50. That seems like a good place. All these guys are going to probably want to time it out for the end here because everyone's getting fairly spread out here, and the longer we go, the more of a chance is going to remain green.
Well, okay, so we talked earlier about the 2-tire stop finishing, but I'm looking at the lap times, and we're only about 8 to 9 tenths of a second off the best time. So maybe these tires don't really wear out as much as we thought.
Yeah, I think they probably just wear out a lot more at the beginning of the run, and then as the run goes on, it's less degradation. That's my guess at it.
That could be, but I mean, we saw those cars take 2 tires earlier and not really work out. But again, Angelo Ronas in the 29, he's come down and taken 4. There's no one on the track right now that has taken 2 tires, so everyone's on equal tires at the moment, just separated by a couple laps. But I'm a little bit surprised that those cars that took 2 tires didn't have a better situation. I would have thought that with the lap times we're seeing now that would have been a better strategy, but it doesn't seem that way. Eric Hutton chasing down Hinton for second, now putting pressure on. Last time through was a couple hundredths quicker. Make that a 10th quicker.
Yeah, also, again, Joshua Banks also closing in on this, so we potentially got a 3-way battle for second here. Joshua Banks is a man in a hurry. Whoa! Hutton loose off of 2.
He almost pounded himself into the fence. I think that is one of those situations here at New Hampshire where you kind of get oversteer because of understeer, where you're got so much wheel in it that you get back on the throttle and you just almost loop it around out of the corner exit. So Hutton almost found the fence with that one.
Whoa, Jeremiah Vincent very slow off of 2. I think he might have blown an engine.
No power in that car, if any. I think that is the engine gone on the 8 of Jeremiah Vincent. Pulls off the racetrack. We've seen this cause a yellow down here before, though, so we have to be careful where he stops. He's going to roll on through, and
I think he's going to take the access road, or road, part of the road course.
Good. But we've seen cars stop on the apron here trigger yellows, so we'll see if that is the case here. Of course, no power in that car. And it's going to be an early end of the day for Jeremiah Vincent. And he's 16th, tied for 16th with Trejo. There's the caution right now.
Caution.
I think it's for the 8 car.
Really?
That would be my guess. No one else is wrecked, Finian.
That makes no sense.
But we've seen this before. Remember back in the fuel stuff with Evan Adams. He did the same exact thing. Came to a slow roll down in the road course section, and that's enough for a yellow.
Good job, iRacing. All right.
So caution out again here tonight. And I don't see anybody else off pace, so it must have been the 8 car, Vincent. All right, let's wait and see what the 88's going to do. And then we'll talk to him here in short order, but let's let him pit first. And then I think Andrew Tuganoff wanted to come up and join us in the booth here shortly, so we'll see if he pops in.
Here we go for pit stops. You saw 2 tires didn't work out earlier. Will anyone dare try it again here? We still got a lot of ways left to go in this race, so even if you pull that strategy, you still got time to bounce back if it doesn't entirely work out.
Over 100 laps to go still, so long way to go. About 50 minutes worth of racing. And the field into pit lane. Hutton in cleanly, and that's going to be important to see where he pops out. And the 48 and 13 into their boxes aggressively. Nice launches into their boxes for them. And Brian Chambliss rolls on through. I don't even think he stopped. He did not. So Brian Chambliss rolls on through the pit box. Oh, 48-13 side by side at the exit of the pit road section. And a lot of close races out there, but I think the 48 beat Hinton, but Hutton didn't get past the 13. But let's pull in the 88 of Eric Hutton. We'll chat with him real quick. He's our in-race reporter tonight in that Pornhub number 88. And we'll see if we can talk to him. Hey, Eric Hutton, it's Kyle from SimTV. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, so far so good, that Pornhub Chevrolet Camaro, and I see you plugged the SimTV Pornhub account there on the rear window. Looks good out there, but you've clawed your way up to 4th after starting the night up in 21st. So you've gained a bunch of spots. How does that car feel? How easy is it to pass out there?
Yeah, it's real difficult to pass, actually. I don't know how I got it up from 21st, but just dodging wrecks and trying to take advantage of whatever mistakes guys in front of me make. But hopefully we can keep it up here in the top 3 and maybe even a little bit higher, preferably. But yeah, it feels all right. It's just hard.
So about the racing line, last night Finney and I were running the VRL race, and the bottom groove, you could make that work on the restarts, but then as the run went on, you kind of gravitated towards the middle. So we know the bottom groove works on restarts. Can you use the top groove for anything?
I think maybe real early in the restart you can really dive it on top and just hope that you get a fast enough run where you get to their quarter panel before they can clear you. But yeah, I think on the restart your best bet's just to use the bottom and merge up to the middle and top as a run.
All right, Eric, we're gonna let you get back to work there, but good luck out there. We'll talk to you later.
I appreciate it, guys. So that was Eric Hutton in 3rd place. He'll be in a great spot for the restart here, Finian.
starting on the inside of row number 2. And this restart will come with 100 laps to go.
Yep, still a fairly long way to go in this race, although we've been starting to see more and more green flag runs here. And I feel like we might go in that direction, although we could easily go back to having a few cautions here and there until these guys get spread out.
We've seen cautions breed cautions, and I'm not really expecting us to go super green just yet. I think the aggression, we've kind of calmed down for a little while, so I think the aggression's got to come back up to match where it was earlier in the night. No reason why everyone would race so hard the first 30 laps and then not race hard now, as the laps to go begin to fall here. So 100 to go. And Jeff Wright in that number 48 Dark Smoke car alongside the 13 of Eli Hinton out up front. Then it's a pair of Chevrolet Camaros. Joshua Banks has fought his way all the way back up into 4th after having that incident earlier. And green flag back in the air again at New Hampshire.
Ooh, very poor start for Eli Hinton. Well, actually, not as poor as I thought, but Hunton's going to try to throw it from the inside. Can't get it done. Here comes Joshua Banks still on the outside trying to get third.
He's going to have a good enough run out of turn 2 to stay alongside that 88 as they drag race down the back straightaway. You see everyone fighting 4th on back and off into turn 3. The 36 is going to drive right in the door of the 88 side by side for that 3rd spot. Hinton slowing up the 36, and it's going to be another drag race down the front straight.
Man, Banks is not taking any prisoners here tonight. He's just going for it and doesn't care who's in front of him. He's going to try to get around Hutton. He's almost able to do so, and I think he might be able to do so off of 2 this time.
I think that 36 car is the strongest car in the field tonight. He's been able to pass people left and right. He's been aggressive on the starts and restarts, and he is coming back forward. Even with that damage on that car, I think he's the best one in the field. Behind him, Bruce Boyer side by side with Downey Jr. and Reggie Ortega. Out of turn 4 now, the 33 Stravado, all sorts of sideways. And we look like we might go 3 wide there, but they've single filed out lap number 73.
Yeah, single file out for the moment. I see Bruce Boyer trying to work around Tim Downey Jr.
Eric Hutton trying to get back by the 36 of Joshua Banks. Might be a short-lived effort, though, down into turn 3. You just can't quite get down there. There's less banking in that inside groove, so you go down there to try to make a pass, and you lose all that banking, and the car just pushes and understeers.
Looks like Banks is going to hold off 3rd for now. He's going to set his sights on the 13 Hinton. We saw this 36 car has some wicked pace, especially on the long run.
And the 18 of Alec Martinez trying to claw his way back up towards the front. Remember, he got involved in that first collision of the night, and he started in 5th. So that 18 car is quicker than where he's running. Again, he's in 8th. Or actually, excuse me, I think he's 10th in the point standings. Yeah, 10th place. 11 back from 8th place. So he's really in the hunt here. He's got to get in front of that 13 car to close in. Now, next week we head to a road course where that 18 of Alec Martinez will be fast. We know there that no finish is guaranteed at the Charlotte Roval.
Yeah, I'm sure Alec Martinez is hoping for a few more people, such as Elliot Butler, to have some bad nights just to help get himself back into the race. He's got a very strong car, and if he can get a good finish out of tonight, he'll be definitely looking forward to the Roval next week.
And Jeff Wright is as well. We mentioned, the 13 car sideways in turn 1, drifting, sliding, and was there contact with the 36?
Oh, I definitely think there was.
There's a bunch of damage to the rear bumper of that 13 car, and remember, the last couple weeks he's been yelled at and kind of getting run into by everyone because he's spent his fair share of running into people in the weeks prior. So the field is fed up with him. Now I think they're returning the favor here tonight at New Hampshire. Jordan Ashland alongside. Let's go back and take a quick look down into turn 1. Was there contact? Oh, yeah. He got pile driven into turn 1 by the 36, and Banks got 2nd place away.
Yep, I think that's definitely Banks there returning the favor, and that easily gave Banks 2nd place. But yeah, Eli Hinton still trying to recover. He got put back in 4th place. Now he's going to have to try to make all that back up. And behind him is Stravado and Jordan Ashland fighting for position. Now it's Stravado. I'm amazed he's able to climb back up this far.
Yeah, I think Stravado definitely really strong, and as well as the 36 of Joshua Banks. So the 36 and 33, my picks to win this race. And we are closing on 90 laps to go, so we're closing it on the halfway as well, which means I think that we should kind of solidify our picks for the end of the race. I choose 36, Joshua Banks, and 33, AJ Stravado.
All right, I'm going to be the boring one. I'm going to pick a man who's leading, Jeff Wright in the 48. Definitely a strong pick. And I'll pick the 88, Eric Hutton.
Eric Hutton has been quick right now. He's 3rd place closing in on Joshua Banks. How about a battle for 9th? Bruce Boyer, Tim Downey Jr., Boyer clears, and Boyer has also been quite quick tonight. Just doesn't have the track position to get himself up inside the top 5. 30 car, Jamie Miller bounced off the fence out of turn 2. And that's Gerald Kemble in the 66 trying to make a pass on the inside in turn 3. And they run side by side and continue to do so out of turn 4. But Hinton trying to drive back away. He has driven away from Stravato, now sets his sights back on Hutton up the road. But I think Hutton's been quicker the last few laps. And how about Joshua Banks running down Jeff Wright right now?
Yeah, what I'm kind of curious, I don't think it'll happen. I think 36 is definitely faster than the 2, but if the 13 gets back to the 36, I kind of wonder what's going to happen.
Well, I know the 13 definitely doesn't feel like he's done anything wrong, and he said that in weeks past. I mean, the court of public opinion said otherwise, but drivers have long memories, and I'm curious to see how these two race each other when they get back to it. I don't even know if the 36 is satisfied just yet. So Tim Downey Jr., Alec Martinez fighting for 10th. And Martinez's car is all sorts of destroyed, and in the past he might have exited the race right after that incident, but this year has been a growing year for him. He won a race back at Kansas Speedway, and he's learned a lot this season, and this kid has a bright future. He just has had a rough couple weeks. And Ortega getting hounded by Bruce Boyer in the 14 as well. This is for 8th.
Yeah, and Boyer, again, another pretty solid car, just hasn't been able to really get the track position. As you were saying earlier, he's just been trying to move his way up to the front, but hasn't been able to do so. Behind them, Martinez and Tim Downey Jr. fighting for a spot.
Putting pressure on, and looks like Tim Downey's just going to give it to the 18. So Martinez takes that spot away. How about up front, though? Joshua Banks has closed that gap down to 0.3 of a second, and Jeff Wright is under attack. Look at how much Banks launches into the corner.
Yeah, he is there and ready to make a move. I think he's trying to psych out the 48 of Wright, showing that he can easily make that move work.
165 miles an hour on the front straight, then down to about 90 in the middle of the corner. And the 36 car is there. Banks has won one race this season, probably should have won a handful, but the internet has not cooperated, but tonight it's been okay as he closes in for the lead.
Yeah, remember, too, these guys were fighting for the lead at Richmond a few weeks ago, and that ended up with the 36 of Banks spinning out, trying to take the lead away, but here he is. I think he's arguably got the faster car compared to the 48. Here they are fighting out for the lead.
Ortega and Boyer continue to fight for 8th place. Boyer using the lower groove that they see, he hits that lower banked portion and shoots up the racetrack with understeer. So difficult to make a pass. And you see Tim Downey Jr. This has not been a great night for the 25 car for him. He's not running terribly, but he started 9th and is still dropping down the order. Here comes the 22 of Emerson trying to recover a bit of his night. And the 4 of Josiah Vincent, who's pounded the wall a few too many times.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's just us catching him at the wrong place, wrong time, but every time we've kind of had a camera on him, he's been losing some spots to quite a few guys.
So Mark Emerson completes that pass for 12th. Tim Downey Jr. back to 13th, and here comes Josiah Vincent popping out of line to take a look to the inside.
For the lead, the leaders are side by side. Banks threw it up the inside in 3 and 4. Wasn't able to make it done, but he is definitely there.
Well, you know what? While they're fighting, that's brought Eric Hutton back into the mix. This 88 car is closing and closing quickly. Last time through, all three were dead even. 28 5s for all three.
Yeah, and if anything happens to the leaders, Hutton's right there able to pick it up.
Or he might be in it. So I think you're looking at 4th place Eli Hinton as being potentially in the catbird seat here. Lap 87 of 170. We've been green for about 19, 20 laps, and that 36 car of Joshua Banks has found some pace and has hit his stride all over the back of the 48. Maybe takes a look to the outside, might try to cross him over in turn 2.
And here he is trying to make a move. Now he's got to be kind of careful now. He can try to make a move here, but if he's not careful, the 88 of Hutton will try to stick it in somewhere. Oh, there he goes. Big dive.
Dive down to the inside. Here comes the 36 of Joshua Banks side by side with the 48. Contact between the leaders. Door to door out of turn 4. A win last week for Joshua Banks, but he is not satisfied yet.
Yeah, trying to make it 2 in a row, trying to make it up for all the times he probably should have won and wasn't able to get the W.
Putting pressure on the back of the 48. It's brought Eric Hutton right into this mix. The top 3 separated by a half a second. Working lap number 90 here. We're past halfway now as Banks continues to work over that left rear quarter panel. They leaned on each other out of turn 4, and that might get a little hot under the helmet of that 48 car.
Oh, very hard on the brakes. Banks is being...
Lap 91 now.
Yeah, Banks is looking like he's trying to try the outside now, or just trying to take a arc into the corner. He's definitely experimenting with different lines here, trying to find a way around the 48.
1, 2, and 3. Separated by 0.4 of a second. Stravato has gotten around Eli Hinton for 4th. So Stravato has also found his pace. He was our pole sitter tonight. Not done yet, though. These guys battling hard for the lead. Will anyone make a mistake and accidentally take each other out? We've seen that happen in weeks past. Riding on board the gyro cam here with the 36 of Banks. Started 3rd, running 2nd, but it's been an up and down night with a spin earlier in the evening. Trying to recover. And the 48 of Jeff Wright trying to hang on. And Jeff Wright's another guy that should have won a handful of races, but just has not had his season go his way. It hasn't been a bad season, but he probably should have won more races than he has. And right now, the 48 of Jeff Wright is 3rd in the standings, 26 behind leader Bailey Turner. And right now, he's definitely wrestled 2nd away from Mark Emerson as they run.
Yeah, there you see Banks here trying to find a way around. Has been kind of stuck. He's kind of stalled out on his run from the 48 to Jeff Wright. And even Hutton, too, he hasn't actually made up some more ground. I'm kind of curious if he's just giving these guys space, or he just hasn't been able to keep up.
Last time through, all 3 ran 28.9s. Again, all very even. The 36 got a great run out of turn 4. Dove down into turn 1, but again, how difficult is it to pass a big launch into turn 3? All the way up alongside the 48. He's going to lean on him again. He can't quite make the move stick. Out of turn 4, they continue to fight. Side by side, drag racing for the lead, lap number 95.
Yeah, he's definitely there side by side, and there he's going to throw it into 1 again. He's going to slide up the track, force 48 out.
They just continue to give each other inches of room. The 36 launches out of turn 2. He's all sorts of sideways. Can't quite get the power to the ground, though. The 48 retains the lead by a nose. Now Banks dives hard into turn 3, slips up the racetrack, and looks like Wright's going to launch right back around the outside, but they both get on the throttle at the same time. And again, side by side down the front straight.
I think Wright might win this out. Banks is going to try another lunge. There he goes, very deep into the corner.
Oh, he slips up the racetrack again. Is there contact? Not quite, but the 48 retains the lead. Great stuff for the top spot. Eric Hutton just waiting and watching.
Oh, and Banks has got a pretty good run. Here he comes. If he can give it a big lunge. There he goes. Can he clear him?
Oh, contact!
Contact!
Slipping, sliding, he saves it. Here comes Hutton. And big damage to the left front of the 48.
And I was saying Hutton's there in the catbird seat if he was waiting for some contact. There it is. He gets around Joshua Banks, and let's see if he can try to get the 48 of Wright.
And into that damage on the 48, is that going to hurt him? There's a pretty big dent on the inside of that left front fender. And that could hurt his performance here, but Eric Hutton trying to close now. And how much pace will the 36 lose on this whole process? Lap number 98. 35 minutes of racing remaining. The top 3 all in a just absolute dogfight for that top spot. But Banks, he's hurting now. That car is damaged.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how far back he's going to fall, or if he's going to fall back at all, or we'll just kind of stick in 3rd place. We'll have to see as his run continues.
Hutton was quicker the last couple laps, but last time through, Jeff Wright ran about 400s quicker at the line this time for Jeff Wright. It was a 29.197 for Eric Hutton and 29.134, a touch quicker for the 88.
And you actually want to know who was the fastest car on the that last lap through?
Is that AJ Stravato?
Yep.
AJ Stravato sitting in 4th and slowly starting to creep into this mix. Started on pole and missed a shift early, then got involved in some wrecks. He's got a lot of damage on that car, but the quickest on track right now and at the moment.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a lull in the action. Remember how you said earlier that Wright deserved more wins than he has? He has 3 second-place finishes this season.
That's very, very frustrating. But lap number 100 of 170, when you get back to the line, it'll be 70 laps to go. These laps tick off very quickly here at New Hampshire. It's 11-11 here on the East Coast. Someone's got to make a wish. Oh, shut up. That was good.
I'm just laughing. I haven't heard that one in a long
Hey,
time.
you know what, Finian? I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious, all right?
Whoa,
Whoa!
Hutton loose off of 2.
Oh,
Whoa.
man. And here comes Banks back to the inside. He's not going to wait a moment. He's going to take that opportunity. He'll pounce like a cat to the inside, goes Banks.
Yeah, we thought he might be out of it, but there he is trying to show that he's not out of it at all. And Wright's absolutely loving these two side by side as it extends his lead, but it looks like Hutton's going to potentially win this. Does Banks try to shove it? No, he's going to fall in line.
34 laps since our last pit stop. We'll have to make one more stop tonight, at least. And Hutton holds on to that second spot, but Banks is not out of the picture just yet. Travato, though, is closing. He continues to be the quickest car on track by 1/10 of a second. Then it's Eli Hinton alone in 5th. And then a big gaggle of cars behind, fighting for 6th.
There's actually quite a lot of shuffling around behind these guys, but the battle for the lead has been extremely entertaining so far.
So we got off to a slow start tonight with 6 cautions for a total of 20 laps, 5 lead changes. But lately it's been quite clean and green and lots of battling up towards the top spot. Yusuf Ghali's recovered from his spin back to 10th.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job so far tonight, slowly moving his way back up. And I gotta say, too, that car's in a fairly decent shape compared to a lot of other cars out there. He's only got some damage to his left rear.
I think now is about a good time for a SimTV Sound Surge. We'll be right back with you. Watching Yusuf Ghali and Reggie Ortega fight for 8th. There was only a couple inches given there, but Ortega hangs on for now. Ghali climbing up the order. He's quick right now, but back up to the top 3. Here they come.
Yep, side by side. Banks is going to have to back out of it, but they were side by side for second place. Here comes back up the inside, but can't quite do it. But Hutton is there and right on the bumper of the 48 of Jeff Wright.
And you know who else has creeped into this picture? We talked about it a couple laps ago. Stravato has closed that gap immensely. He's just closing him down by over 1/10, maybe 2/10 a lap. And it's a huge gap back to 5th place Eli Hinton, but those top 3 all over each other. Hutton all over the back of the 48 through turn 4. And a slip.
Hutton is loose.
A slip and a slide. He might be wearing out those rear tires. The sun comes back over the racetrack. Track temp has fallen to 86 degrees. That allows Jeff Wright to kind of pull a bit of a gap. But you're right, that 88 car is all over the place. He is sideways out of the corners.
Yeah, he's really starting to struggle with grip, and I think Banks knows that. He's trying to find a way around him, but just can't with the car the way it is at the moment.
The 88 ran up high out of turn 4. And maybe Banks can close that gap a bit. He got a great run out of turn 4, but not going to be close enough to make a move just yet.
If you can you give me an update on how long we are on the tires?
Laps since pit, 43 laps.
Yeah, we're definitely starting to approach pit stops here. I think probably within 10 laps we'll be about halfway through the stint. I think a lot of guys are going to like to come down a pit road. And what I'm curious is who's out of these top four who have pretty much been with each other, or very close with each other, who's going to be the first one to come down?
So about 60 laps to go, you're right. So about 5 to 10 laps. So we'll probably see drivers come on down for tires and fuel, split this run in half, and then run all the way to the end. We haven't seen green flag stops tonight. And pit exit here under green, Finian, it's very, very tight. That cone, you're forced to really stay on the apron all the way through turn 2. There's a wall. Very difficult not to hit that wall when trying to get back up to speed, so something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on, as well as we're slowly approaching that window. You see Banks still trying to get around Hutton, but can't do so, and then he's going to sit behind the third for now.
Watching AJ Servato behind, though, still taking off very, very good lap times, and he has closed that gap all the way down. It was several seconds at one point. Now it's only 3/10 between him and third place Joshua Banks. And as Banks and Hutton continue to fight, it's just reeling in the 33 even more. I still think that this 33 car can win this race.
Hey, Andrew.
There's Andrew Talgonoff joining us in the booth. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, man? How about this race for the lead, guys?
It's getting spicy right now. Eric Hutton and the 36 of Banks continue to fight for that second spot, but Andrew, that 33 car, Stravato, is coming.
Yeah, I've noticed. He's been about a tenth, maybe a tenth and a half faster. I mean, he was over 2 seconds back, maybe even 3. I don't know what happened earlier. He's got his third gear issues figured out, man, but this is shaping up to be a pretty good battle. You got the guy in 4th place coming, and you got a guy for 3rd trying to get around Eric, and Eric's catching Jeff. Jesus Christ. I mean, excuse my French there. Hope that doesn't offend anybody, but man, it's shaping up, man.
I've just been watching this 36. To make passes, he just waits so late to jump on the brakes and just stands on the binders down into the corners. Eric Hutton seems to gain better pace on corner exit, and Jeff Wright's just better through the middle. So all these front 3 gain speed in very different places. It's fascinating to watch. But AJ Stravato, like you said, Andrew, has been reeling him in about a tenth and a half a lap, and he's quicker than all these cars in front of him. So if anything happens, these top... Oh, he got slow out of turn 2 there. But if anything happens, these top 3, that 33 is going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like we're getting ready for pit stops here. AJ Stravato's got his hand out the window here. He's coming in for a pit stop. So hopefully he doesn't have any issues. I know one of his biggest cons of the year has been on pit stops. So let's see what he does here. Hopefully no penalties.
Yeah. Go ahead, Finian.
I was going to say, if anything, this is exactly what you need to do. You need to be the first of these guys to come down a pit road, because if it all cycles out the
Oh
way
no!
that
The 18
it
gets
should-
turned! Down in turn 1, he slips and slides. Contact with him and Mark Emerson.
He might have saved it.
He did.
Green.
We stay green.
Wow.
And I'm sure Stravato's heart sank for a moment there.
Yeah, I sank mine as a T owner, but he's got his right sides up. No issues yet. Coming around to the lefts here as he'll go lap down, but if I was these guys up in the lead, top 3, they might want to think about pitting here, because I'm telling you, 1 or 2 corners on 4 fresh tires, he's going to be well ahead of these guys here.
Yeah, these fresh tires are worth about a second as they're running at the moment.
And he doesn't really seem to have anybody around him either, so he's going to gain even more time here. So let's see if the leaders pit here. Nobody's pitting yet. Wow. Really surprised here, guys. I'm telling you, I mean, as long as AJ hit his marks here on pit road, I guess it don't matter at this point. I mean, he's just gaining time as we speak. So we got a bunch of guys here coming on 08, 15. Everybody's coming in. We'll see where AJ ends up, though.
Yusuf Ghali and Alex Bell on the pit lane, and also the 08 of Brian Long returning back to the series after a couple-week hiatus. And Banks and Hutton continue to fight. Do you think, Andrew, that they might stay out on the racetrack a couple more laps to satisfy this fight? Are they even worried about the 33? Because I think they should be.
Yeah, I mean, here comes, as we're talking, Banks is coming up pit road. But I mean, if I'm a leader here in this situation, I'm trying to stay out as long as I can. But I gotta pay attention, listen to my spotter, and know who's pitting, because AJ, like I said, was a second back. I mean, we're trying to get a look at his lap times here, but I'm pretty sure he's significantly faster than the leaders here.
Yeah,
I mean, 27.9 to the leaders 29.4. I mean, that's over a second and a half. So, I mean, you look at that, man. 3-4 laps out there. He's going to gain second half 3, almost 6 seconds on the leader here. These guys got to get in.
Yep, Hutton's on in.
Everybody's pitting now.
Jeff Wright still on the racetrack. Eli Hinton stays on the racetrack as well in the 13. Angelo Ronis stays on caution.
Caution's out.
Oh, man.
That throws everybody. It's the 25 of Tim Downey Jr. out in turn 4 and spins out, and that just throws everyone into a huge confusion. And AJ Stravato, he might get the free pass here and might save him, but everyone else is going to be in trouble. Let's take a look. On the outside of Yusuf Ghali, was there contact here? Oh, yep, definitely contact. The 1 and the 25 get together, and the 25 spins out of turn 4, and that's what triggered the yellow.
Yeah, I was going to say, too, Yusuf Ghali made up quite a few spots under green, was setting up to come out about 7. And made some contact with the 25, but yeah, now the entire order of the field is completely out of whack at the moment.
Yeah, this was a weird incident. I think it was the 11 car, the slow Eddie Trejo machine, kind of threw the 1 and the 25 into kind of a must-dodge situation here, and the 1 car had to go high and just miscalculated and tagged the 25 in the process there. It's definitely on the 1 of Yusuf Ghali, but not a whole lot he could do there if he didn't want to run into the 11.
Do you know if there's, when the caution comes out, do the pits close?
Pits close as soon as the yellow flies, yes.
Ooh, then Emerson and Eddie Trejo might be expecting a penalty there.
Probably an EOL, I would imagine, for entering closed pits. And so Eli Hinton comes on down, Jeff Wright comes on down. I want to see where everyone kind of settles out after all this. And will the 33 of AJ Stravato, this definitely hurts his strategy, guys.
Oh yeah, definitely hurt him indeed. He was setting up to take the lead pretty much after that. I don't think really many people could argue otherwise. They're using a perfect strategy for that to come out, but I'm trying to find him right now. I don't know where he is.
On the front straight right now, and we'll see where he pops out. But now he's wasted a couple laps on those tires. Is he forced to come back down and get new ones? I mean, I don't know if he'll be able to stick with these guys, but we'll see.
I mean, honestly, he probably should come back down because right now there's, from the looks of it, only 9 cars on the lead lap. Actually, make that 8 because Eric's still behind the pace car.
Eli Hinton, a long time on pit road there. Not sure if it was for damage repair or for a penalty, but Ronis as well. About a minute or 38 seconds in his pit box.
Yeah, so AJ should definitely come down, and indeed he is, because he can't really fall back anymore from this.
And he is. He's coming back down for tires and fuel.
Yeah, so I actually got kind of lucky that he got the lucky dog, incidentally enough. So that'll kind of help him out, but again, still gonna suck. Just the really unfortunate timing with that caution.
Not what they needed, and that was just a situation. I was worried about that whole sequence. Honestly, if I was in Jeff Wright's position, I would have done exactly what he did because we hadn't seen green flag stops yet tonight. We know how difficult getting to pit road can be, and especially to a place like New Hampshire where you're already understeering, trying to get the car slowed down. It's a recipe for disaster. We saw the 18 almost get turned around off the bumper of Mark Emerson. So there's a lot of confusion, a lot of loose cars, a lot of tight cars, and it just makes a situation where the possibility for a yellow is very, very high. So Jeff Wright did the right thing, and he'll stay out and retains the lead here. How about Elliott Butler back in second place after the night he's had?
Yeah, definitely. He's been up and down all over the place. In fact, a lot of people have. If you look through the order, a lot of people have gone up and down the order, and I think definitely with that caution coming out in such a weird place, with the order all shuffled up, I think we're honestly in for a few cautions here.
Yeah, Elliott Butler going to be second, Casey Lakatos in third, Gerald Campbell in the 66 fourth, Eli Hinton fifth, Angelo Ronis sixth, AJ Stravato seventh, and a whole bunch of cars just got the wave around.
And how about Lakatos as well, too? He talk about up and down night. He was sideways, and I think definitely at least one wreck. I think might have been 2. And here he is up in third place, and yeah, a lot of wave rounds. I'm actually kind of curious if the caution might be extended here.
We might get them all in line here by the time we get around. We'll see. It's going to be close. You see the field is catching back up now. Ooh, it is going to be really close. I think we'll have to get an extension here. And yeah, I think we'll get
think so.
Caution extended, or we might just be going green here. We're going to go green regardless. Green flag back in the air, and the field is a mess down there in turns 3 and 4. Contact! Crash at the front straightaway. And a big wreck in the middle of the field there, and the 36 car destroyed one of the best cars of the night in the wall and race over. For Joshua Banks, heartbreak again. That's frustrating. Here's a look at this one.
That definitely is frustrating.
The 27 of Jordan Ashland just was like a bowling ball through the middle of the racetrack. That's on him for me here, Finian. I mean, he came in here going way faster than everybody else and just went through the middle and bounced off everybody. That's squarely on the 27 for that.
Yeah, actually, so this was kind of a myriad of things that happened here. So Brian Long, it's not Brian Long's fault or Joshua Banks, but what happened here is Brian Long was lagging behind the field, I think, because he was trying to let people get on by him. But I think he was on the inside lane. Eric Hutton and Joshua Banks came flying around on the inside of him. Banks let off the gas because I think he was scared of getting a penalty for passing on the inside, which you can't do. And
right.
then Ashland came bowling on through trying to make up some spots.
Yeah, well, I still think, I mean, the 27 was, I mean, my green flag might have been out, but you can't go middle 3 wide and just bounce off of cars like that regardless. I mean, I know it was a confusing situation, but you got to be a heads-up driver in that situation, and Jordan Ashland did not do that there. I mean, there's a lot of ways to kind of prevent that kind of confusion, and to go 3 wide middle and bounce off cars that don't know where they're supposed to be. That's not a move I would expect out of Jordan Ashland. So that was a big mistake there, and unfortunately for the 36 of Joshua Banks, it'll be a DNF for him tonight. He's out of the race.
Yeah, tough break for him. Had a good race going. Got put back on strategy there, and then, yeah, just that's going to seal his fate. He's left the server. It's going to be retirement. Yeah,
that's a real shame. It didn't have to be that way, but I'm surprised we didn't get a caution extended. That would have probably prevented that situation from happening. We kind of went green with a lot of confusion there, which didn't help the situation. But at the same time, when you get those confusing situations, the drivers have a certain responsibility not to do anything stupid. And that includes doing the Kyle Busch restart where you come in from behind at 100 miles an hour faster than everybody else trying to go up the middle. Never going to work. It didn't work, and unfortunately the 36 car gets to pay the price for that. So we'll line them back up again and try again, but this has helped especially guys like Casey Lakatos, who has not found victory lane this year, probably deserved to find victory lane at a couple racetracks. Never afraid to try any strategy, sits third right now with 50 to go, or actually make that 40 to go next time we come around.
Yeah, this race is winding down. Quite a few cars out of it as well at this point.
Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 DNFs, and Brian Long, Jordan Ashland also will probably join that list.
Yeah, a lot of damaged cars as well, lingering as well on the track. So, and the field still scrambled and messed up. A lot of faster cars stuck in the back. A lot of guys who've been in the back up towards the front.
A lot of this goes back to that incident in turn 4 between the 1 of Yusuf Ghali and the 25 of Tim Downey Jr. and that Letty Trejo when he was pulling down the pit lane. That's what started this whole mess. And it's interesting how all the the sequence of events that leads to things turning out as they are. Kind of changes how everything works. Very interesting. And AJ Stravato was in the catbird seat before, and now he's going to be 7th. And all that track position he had worked so hard to get under green, he's going to be restarting in row number 4, a little ways back.
Yeah, all for naught, essentially. And he's got some work to do. He's got to get back around Eli Hinton, who we've seen is not a slow car, so he's got to muscle his way around him, as well as past some of these other guys in front of him. So he's got a lot of work to do in this restart. Jeff Wright, not so much, can just set off and pretty much try to extend his lead as much as he can.
40 laps to go. It's about 20 minutes worth of racing. It's going to be 48, 6, 50, 66, 13, your top 5. And Eric Hutton's back in 8th alongside Stravato. So those two cars were some of the quickest earlier in the night. And they no longer have the 36 to contend with, so all they have to beat is the 48 of Jeff Wright. Pace car's off, green flag in hand of the starter, and 40 to go at New Hampshire.
Right off to a fantastic start. Butler trying to itch his way into second place. Casey Lakatos on the inside.
Got kind of sketchy 3 wide in the mid-pack there for a moment. Again, caution out behind him. And I don't know exactly what has happened. And
25.
So it was the 25 again of Tim Downey Jr. One out again. And let's see what caused this one. Oh, he got bowled over by the 1 car. What happened here? These guys have already been in it together. Oh, the 1 car just gets in here and just... Wow, okay, this is... We gotta go back even further. So the 1 and the 25 were together, and the 1 car just misjudges the corner and just drills the 25 in the rear bumper, and... Oh, Tim Downey Jr., that's 2 strikes, you're out for me. I mean, the earlier incident, I definitely call, that's a racing incident accident. That was just a misjudgment by the one. So I'm sure Tim Downey Jr. is not thrilled right now, but Yusuf Ghali is taking that car to the garage area. That night is over for him. So this has just gone downhill for a lot of our front runners earlier tonight. We're going to jump to break real quick. I'm going to restart our software. We'll be back for the restart here in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back live to Sim TV, working lap 134 of 170 in a race that has been, kind of different than what we're used to seeing here in Outsider Racing League. A lot of yellows tonight, and recently a lot of very bad accidents, including 27 of Ashland, the 36 of Joshua Banks, the 1 of Yusuf Ghali, and others that have all DNF'd out of this race in recent laps. Well, Finian, it's getting down to crunch time now, about 20 minutes worth of racing left. Jeff Wright sitting solidly in contention for this win. He's the only fast car that's been up front all night that is still in the top 5, really. Eric Hutton and AJ Stravato, the next couple cars, but they're 7th and 8th. They have some work to do to get there.
Yeah, they got a lot of work to do, and not a lot of laps. The laps keep ticking off, and the more cautions we have, the less time they have to drive up to the front. And I'm sure Jeff Wright's loving this and hopes this continues for the next couple of laps, or next dozens of laps.
The 1 to green there, the lights will shut off on the pace car. We'll double up again. We've seen cautions breed cautions. We'll see if that continues. Angelo Ronis will be restarting in 6th. How about that 29 Logitech Toyota Camry? He's up in the mix now. And Eli Hinton sitting in 5th place. He has not really had an opportunity to show his stuff yet this evening. And had some run-ins with the 36 earlier. That is all cleared out of the way. So now he's got his set of sights on. He's probably the best conditioned car inside the top 10 other than Travato and Hutton. And he did run inside the top 3 earlier, so he does have pace, but is it enough to catch that 48 with about 35 laps to go?
Definitely think the 13 struggle with long run pace, and we're looking at a short run for the rest of this race, so I'm sure he's going to enjoy that.
So coming back to the green flag, it'll be 35 laps to go. 48, 6, 50, 66, 13, your top 5. Pace cars off, 35 to go at Loudon. Green flag back in the air.
Yeah, Casey Lakatos up the inside of the 6. He has a chance to take second place away. Not quite. LA Butler's going to still fight for it on the outside. How about that 66 of Campbell trying to make a move here?
Butler's night has been atrocious. He finally got a good break on that caution sequence and got himself back inside the top 5. Can he hold on to it, though? Lakatos to the inside, trying to steal that spot away. Eli Hinton is getting thrown to the wolves with the 88 and the 29 right behind him.
And Stravato struggling in behind this pack. There you see 66 with a crossover to the inside of Lakatos, trying to fight for 3rd.
Off into turn 1 now. People are going to start running out of patience and leading on each other even more. Less than 35 to go. It's 17 minutes of racing remaining. Out of turn 2. 3 wide for a moment mid-pack. Hinton trying to defend from the 88. Now to the inside of Ronis. Ronis goes around the outside to get himself inside the top 5.
He's going to try to make it work. Ortega's going to try to also follow on through. That 29 car is starting to look strong.
He is looking strong indeed. Going for 4th place now on the outside of Campbell. And Hutton working his way around the outside of the 13. Look behind the 33 and 22. Almost leaning on each other. And looks like Mark Emerson might get himself back into this fight.
Yeah, how about that? We saw him spinning off with Brian Long quite a few laps ago. Here he is back in contention.
Oh no! He gets turned. The 29 right in front of the field. Spins sliding out of turn 4 into the fence. Caution out. And just like that, What was about to turn into a good night has gone sour for the 29. And this is just a matter of people going for the same spots on the racetrack. Here's a look from up above. This is the 66 getting into the corner, and the 29 actually kind of turned down across. There's some net code there, but 29 turned down across the 66 there. So nothing that Campbell did wrong. We just there's only one spot on the racetrack, and those two cars were trying to occupy it at the same time.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate. The second wreck we've seen tonight, rolling net code.
All right, well, split decision on pit lane. You see a bunch of cars down and a bunch of cars not, so interesting strategies here. Let's talk to Eric Hutton, though. He's going to be P4 here for the restart. Hey, Eric, it's Kyle from SimTV once again. You're sitting in 4th for the restart. Kind of shake up here in the late going. What's the plan for these last 30 laps?
Yeah, I don't know. Try to pass the cars. Hopefully this tire strategy pays off. I don't think we're gonna have enough laps for tires really come in, and it looks like we got about 5 or so cars staying behind us. So hopefully we'll be all right, and just gotta pass, man. Struggling in traffic, so I don't know. Hopefully we can get up there.
How is the situation on the racetrack in terms of the tempers? I mean, we don't have the radio up, so we're not exactly sure what's going on, but I'm sure there's some drivers that are a bit upset with each other.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm sure, and people's private radios are going pretty crazy right now, but yeah, you might see a little bit of drama.
All right, we're going to let you get back into work and focus on these last 30 laps. Good luck out there. We'll see you later.
Thanks, guys.
So, field getting ready. We're going to have just under 30 laps to go, maybe closer to 20. Is that right? 30 laps to go. Yeah. So, we're going to have about 26 or 27 when we get the green. And Eric Hutton, did he just drop? Oh, no, he's back. Okay. That would have not been good. All right, so let's recap this for you. It's been kind of a wild night. We've done 141 laps. Jeff Wright has led the most laps this evening, that number 48 Toyota Camry. Eric Hutton has worked his way up, has not been able to control this race yet tonight. Reggie Ortega sitting in 3rd. The 36 car of Joshua Banks led some laps early. He was involved in a collision with Jordan Ashland on a restart about 20 laps ago. Tim Downey Jr. and the 1 of Yusuf Ghali got together coming to pit road about 15 laps ago and kind of triggered this whole caution sequence mid-pit stop, mid-green flag pit stops and kind of shook up the field. Alec Martinez started 5th tonight. He's back in 15th after kind of having some damage earlier in the night. And AJ Servato, your pole sitter, missed a gear early, went to the back, drove all the way back to the front, tried some pit strategy and got caught mid-pit stop sequence and now sits in 5th with just under 30 to go. So that's your little race recap for you. We'll restart lap number 143 of 170 in about less than 15 minutes of racing remaining.
Yeah, indeed. That's if we go green all the way. We've had quite a bit of a string of cautions here lately. Let's see if we can get these guys off and rolling. But again, how about Casey Licata's up in 2nd place and Reggie Ortega in 3rd?
Reggie Ortega, remember, he won at Martinsville back earlier in the season, and he knows how to drive short tracks. And again, New Hampshire, not necessarily a short track by definition, but it races so much like one. And the way we've seen the racing tonight, I think you're going to have to use those short track skills to get yourself to the end here. Field rolls through turns 3 and 4. Flag in hand of the starter. Yellow for now, but he's going to drop it and pull out the green. Lap 143 of 170. Less than 15 minutes to the end of this race if we go green. Licata's on the outside of that 50. Green flag back in the air.
Yeah, fantastic start from Wright and...
Oh, the 30 gets turned! And a spin out for the 30 car, Jeremy Miller, and I think everyone else gets through okay, but Miller just got absolutely obliterated. And Ortega, I think he got 2nd away from Casey Licata. And Jeff Wright is loving this. Because every time that we have a caution, there's less and less laps for anybody to mount a charge on him.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of chains or rain dances he's doing in that car, but it's definitely working because a lot of cautions have come out ever since the green flag pit stops came to an end.
Yeah, kind of a lot of pushing and shoving here on the restart. 21 of Chambliss gets trapped in behind. They get down to turn 1. And the 14 of Boyer just gets in and gets too hot. And, ooh, Chambliss got a big piece of that as well. And that'll probably be the end of Chambliss's night.
I hear Jeff Wright shutting off his car.
Well, we shouldn't have a fuel-saving situation. He's only...
That's what I'm thinking, but I mean, he's...
Okay, well,
unless he's just doing it for fun.
I turned on my lap since pit and it's showing 144 because I forgot I restarted my software.
Yeah.
So that's not accurate, but
You might be driving a Prius then.
they shouldn't have any issue with fuel. Again, this is not normal. The number of cautions we have tonight is definitely abnormal for ORL. But it's New Hampshire. It's difficult to pass. The new package not helping. And frustrations and tempers are high right now. Glass of water. Throat's dry. Jeremiah Vincent in that 8 car is back out on track. He is shown, for at least for me, 68 laps down. I don't know if that's correct or not.
I was gonna ask, because I'm not sure about this. Do you know if we're running Gray checkers tonight?
Should be. Good question. I know Fuel isn't running them, but I think we are running them here.
I'll go ask.
Okay.
Be right back.
So Field rolling back to take lap number 146. We should be 2 to green here.
All right, gotten confirmation. We are running green, white checkers. However, only 2 attempts will be done.
I like that rule. Okay, well, 2 to green here, Finian. Predictions for the end. I know it's been crazy.
Well, my picks still, actually, 2 of them are still running pretty strong. My, Jeff Wright and 88 Eric Hutton.
Well, I picked Stravato. He's running 4th. I don't know if he has got the pace to win it now, but not a shabby pick. My other car was the 36 of Joshua Banks, but he's not in a great spot at the moment.
All right, well, if you were to replace him with someone, who would you choose?
I'm liking how Reggie Ortega looks right now. He's been out of the fight, and he's got that car pretty clean, and just trying to stay out of the mix of things. So if he can keep pace with the 48, or if the 48 gets turned, I think this 2 car's got a good shot for the win. Out of turn 4 will be lap 147, and this will be 1 to green.
Oh, and since I love my little statistics here, so
All
here's
right, Larry
an
Mack.
interesting fact. So far, only this season, there's only been 2 multiple winners so far. Mark Emerson and Alex Bell, they've been the only guys to win more than 1 race at 2 apiece. Turner, Wright, Hinton, Cabot, Martinez, Banks, Ortega, Bagunia, they all have 1 win apiece. So it's still waiting to have another multiple winner.
Wow.
And Wright's up here in 1st, and he's looking at potentially win number 2.
So if either of these front 2 wins the race, that'll be our 3rd multiple winner of the year. If Lakatos, Hutton, Stravato, Boyer, or Butler wins, then it'll be another first-time winner tonight. Wow, interesting stack there, Finian. Thank you for bringing that up, Larry Mack, and we'll go back green here. And got any trends for the last caution of the night either?
Well, the trend that's been going on so far is a lot of cautions too.
Well, thanks for that, weatherman. Jesus, that's like the weather guy's looking out the window and saying, "Oh, it's raining outside." Oh no, well, you're not kidding about that. All right, flag man.
I don't get paid enough to do that.
Flagman pulls the green flag, racing again at New Hampshire with 23 to go.
And Casey Lakatos trying to wrestle away 2nd place from Ortega. Ortega still fighting back as they race down the back straightaway.
Side by side for 2nd. Ortega has the preferred line as they head down to turn 3. The 33 of Stravato lost a lot of ground on that restart. Restarted 4th. He's back to 6th.
But when Lakatos going to shove his car in front of the 88 Eric Hutton, Hutton's going to look to the inside here. Lakatos is not giving up without a fight.
Hutton to the inside. He's probably the most dangerous car inside this top 5 to that 48 of Jeff Wright. But he clears Lakatos for 3rd. Hinton and Stravato side by side for 6th. These guys have had run-ins before.
Yeah, I'm curious how this is going to end up here. You see Hutton, he's caught up to Ortega. How is this going to go down?
I think Hutton's definitely quicker than Ortega. Here he comes to the inside. A good run off turn 2 for the 88. And he clears him for 2nd. And now Jeff Wright's looking in that mirror, and that's when he gets worried, when he sees that 88 car coming. But are we going to go green to the end here, Finian? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be kind of close to tell. I'm kind of curious if Eric Hutton's hoping for another caution to reset everything, but there he is up in second place. He's got a good chance of taking away the lead here away from the 48. Will he be able to do Greg Biffle?
Last time he was only 7 thousandths of a second quicker than the 48, but he was quicker. Big gaggle of cars out of turn 4. Ooh, the 33 and 14 almost get together. That time through, 2/10 quicker was Eric Hutton in the 48.
Oh, and Elliott Butler to the inside of the 14. This is a big gaggle of potential caution here. Whoa, 83 sideways of Brandon Gagnon.
He spins down to the grass. We stay green for now. If he gets back on track, that may trigger a yellow, but for the top spot, Hutton is there.
Oh, Hutton definitely doesn't want a caution now. He's up there with the 48, battling it out here.
Lakatos and Hinton were fighting for fourth.
Yeah, under 20 laps to go here. Battle for the lead between the 88 and the 48.
50 and 13, side by side, Stravato following. And Lakatos is in trouble. Slow here. He's going to lose some more spots. Behind Alex Bell and the 22 of Emerson. They're fighting for ninth. But up for the top spot, though. That 88 car is closing and closing fast. Jeff Wright getting pressure from that 88.
He's just trying to find a way around him. We've seen this play out before. We saw Hutton being relatively patient with the 48. I'm kind of curious how it's going to go around this time.
That 88 car is just waiting to thrust his way down to the inside in the corner. Jeff Wright leads this race, but not by much. Caution flies for Josiah Vincent in turn 4. Big pile up on the front straightaway. Angelo Ronis involved, and so is Jeremy Miller. Caution out again. Another wreck with 16 to go.
Oh, wow.
Here's a look at it.
I'm actually, wow, what started the wreck in turn 3.
This is a big mess.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Martinez and Josiah Vincent got together with each other. And those guys are teammates.
All right, let's go back and see where it started. Oh, I think the 4 car was really slow through the center. And they get together, and then the 4 car spins and collects the 29, and that's really where the mess starts. But what happened to the 4 car mid-corner? Because he was really slow. He just missed the corner, Finney. I mean, he got up into that black stuff on the upper groove and just slowed way down. I don't think the 18 could have missed him. I mean, we saw last night, it's a very similar situation that I was in, where you can't, there's not much you can do to miss somebody once you're already having that situation. So, oh, here we go, caution out, and pit stop's underway, and we have a split decision. The 88's coming to pit road, as is the 2 of Ortega and others.
Oh, boy.
What do you think, boys?
Oh, boy. I don't know what to think.
I don't know either.
Let's see how many cars on the lead laps. We got Jeff Wright, Hinton, Stravato, Lakatos, Butler, Boyer, Bell, Long, and yeah, that's about it. So
there's only a 2-tire stop. Only a 2-tire stop for the 88 and 2.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't personally. I don't think that's a good decision.
I don't either. But you know, what position does this put us in up front now? Because Eli Hinton, I don't think he has the pace to beat the 48. So who does the 48 have to worry about? AJ Stravato sitting in 3rd.
Yeah. I think Stravato's going to be happy that he's starting in 3rd. He's going to be right behind the 48. But again, I got to wonder, does that 33 have enough for the 48? We saw him close. We saw him potentially was going to beat him out on strategy, but he's now going to have to race him out for the win.
This 33 car didn't lead a single lap tonight. Remember, he started on pole, and as soon as he started the green flag, missed a gear and dropped all the way to the back. He hasn't been up front since then. He's gotten close. We just don't know about his pace just yet. At least compared with the 48.
Where is Stravato?
Well, if you look at it, I mean, they 36 total laps since their last pit stop. But I mean, how many laps have they gone green? Since, I mean, in the last 36 total laps, you're maybe looking at maybe 8 at the most. I don't even 2 tires. I mean, if you're gonna go for, I mean, Eric has nothing to lose here, guys. I mean, if you're gonna go for it though, even I don't blame him going for 2 tires, but I don't know. I'm good at being wrong here, but I mean, the way it's been going, if you want to add in the green white checkered, I mean, there's a chance Eric will be up there, but if we go green, which is a high possibility, obviously it's not going to happen.
Well, here's my thought process: is the green white checkers are going to be a different factor this week that we haven't seen before. But if the cautions come out, that ticks off the laps. And if you're restarting 9th, you got to pass a lot of cars in about 10 laps to get up there. So,
if there were more laps left, I would say he's got a chance. But with this
if this were any track other than New Hampshire, I think he'd have a chance. But this has been such a difficult track to pass at, especially on restarts when everyone's got fresh tires and brakes and they're just sending off in the corners. I don't think there's any way that 88's car is going to get it back to the front here.
You never know, though. I mean, I guess you never know. I'm good at being wrong here, but I guess we'll see what happens here. Let's hope everybody keeps it clean and green, though.
So it'll be 11 laps to go at the restart. Lap number 159 of 170. It's Jeff Wright, Eli Hinton, AJ Stravato, Casey Lakatos, Elliott Butler, your top 5. Then Boyer, Long, Bell, Ortega, Hutton, the rest of your top 10.
Whew, boys, I don't know.
Pace
it's going to be interesting.
Pace car off. Yellow flag is going to drop back into the flag stand. Green flag back in the air. 11 to go here in Loudon.
All right, here comes Eli Hinton. He's going to clear himself for second place. Lacotte is going to fall into third. And then here's Hinton right on the bumper of that 48.
Can he lean on him? Should he lean on him? I mean, we've seen a lot of controversy in weeks past of the 13s too aggressive. Remember back to ISM Raceway. 3 wide. Alex Bell middle. That's the 88. 3 wide on the bottom. Can he make it stick down there? And he does.
He did, man. There you go. There he goes. There he goes.
4 wide. That ain't going to work, boys. Back to 2.
And here comes Hutton. He's found himself all the way up. He's going to try to get 6th place away.
Oh, man, they're bunching up back there. I don't know. We'll see what Hutton's got here. We got 10 to go.
Oh, up for the lead, though. Eli Hinton going to look to the inside of the 408. Can't get it done. He's going to tuck him behind, but these two are on a world of their own.
Eli Hinton's found some pace now, but there's a big gaggle of cars at 50 sideways in turn 3.
Oh,
he's going to crash, and it's going to be a big mess in turn 4. Caution out with 10 to go.
And they're still wrecking.
6 car involved the 18, the 14, and the 88. I think he got through. He'll be 4th for the restart. What a crazy turn of events that last lap was.
Yeah, it looks like 88 just got in the left rear of Casey. That's what happens, though, when you got fresher tires. I mean, the closing rate is just so much more, and then big disaster after the yellow was out there.
Oh, off the bumper of the 88.
Jesus Christ.
And then just a massive pileup there as everyone tried to get it corrected. But the 88 drove in here and just knocked the 50 out of the way and turned him around. So controversy here, and we've seen a lot of drivers tonight kind of get into people. I'm sure it's going to be an interesting dynamic after the race to see who's mad at who. But 88 probably on a hit list now for the 50 Lacatus.
Well, let's see. Is Lacatus even out there still?
Yep. Well, he's down pit road. No, not a whole lot of damage to that car. He managed to correct it, but you won't have a chance to get at the 88 at the race, but I've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah, well, Hutton's in a much better spot than we thought earlier, and his tires seem to be somewhat working for him, and he's in a decent spot now, so...
He's in a good spot because he took the field 4 wide and made it work. It was a phenomenal pass.
Yeah, so he did a great job getting himself in position here. We're going to get a restart with, I want to say, 5 or 6 to go.
And we do have green-white checkered, so we have to keep that in mind, that the leader must take the white flag. Then after that, whatever flag comes out ends the race. They're checkers.
Which I'm so happy we have. I just want to mention, took way too many years to implement it.
Also, do we get a caution on the white flag lap now? Is that a thing, or we just race that out no matter what?
That is a great question.
I feel like we just race it out. I feel like that's. I haven't tested it.
I hope so. I hope so, because I kind of like that. I know why NASCAR does it for safety reasons, but I kind of like them racing it on the last lap.
Well, we've seen, some racetracks. Actually, remember the last time we were here, actually? White flag lap, no cautions. Everyone just lost their minds and drove through each other that last lap, so we could see something similar here. Jeff Wright has led the majority of this race. He's had control of it, but Eli Hinton was dogging him. I didn't think that 13 had a lot in him. But Finian, he was putting pressure on the 48. Out of turn 2 now. We're going to probably get a restart. Like Finian said, 5 to go. My estimation here. Maybe 4.
Maybe more.
Maybe more.
I mean, iRacing just implemented the green-white checkered, and here at Outsiders, we got 2 attempts at a green-white checkered. So the way it's been going the last 40 laps, just very similar, 40, 50 laps, really, very similar to the last season. I mean, we're good, and then we get down to the end, and guys forget how to drive, I guess. I don't know. I mean, think about it, guys. The car doesn't drive any different than it did earlier. Why would you push it even that much harder?
Desperation.
Yeah, and that gets you in trouble. We've seen that before here. But we're going to see what AJ and Jeff can do here, restarting on the inside. They are teammates, and we got Eli on the outside. So I know AJ's pretty hot-headed here. So I don't know what's going to happen here, man.
Well, we have lost about almost half our field to DNFs and crashes in the last 30 or 40 laps of this race. We know AJ Stravato is really hungry. This is perhaps his best opportunity to win a race. Eli Hinton on the outside. He won't give up easy. He's got Eric Hutton behind him. If I'm Eli Hinton, I better get rolling because that 88 car is going to be coming. And Reggie Ortega sitting there in 5th too. Could he steal one away in the last moments of this one?
It's going to be a tough one. I honestly have no clue who's going to win this race at this point. It could be any one of these drivers in the top 5, honestly.
I still think Jeff Wright's in the catbird seat. If he can just get a clean restart and drive away.
Yep.
He's got to watch out for that dive bomb from the 33, though. Pace car's off. 5 laps to go at New Hampshire. 5 miles left at the Magic Mile. Green flag back in the air.
Yeah, it's going to be tough here. He looks like Hutton got clear to the 33 here, so.
Whoa, 13 to the outside. Does he have enough of a run? Here comes the 88 of Eric Hutton to the inside. Side by side for second.
He's got a really good car on him. He's got some fresh tires to work with. Here he is, battle for second place.
We didn't think this was possible, but the 88 drives to the inside of the 13. He's got fresher tires on the right side of that race car. Side by side for second. Can he get the spot away? He's got a bumper on him. And he clears him.
He's going to clear him. Yep, he's going to clear him indeed. There you see Hutton up to second place. If I'm Jeff Wright right now.
Oh, 33 spins.
There it
Caution.
is. There's. Oh, no, AJ. Ugh.
And the 22 got a big piece of that as well. Although his car doesn't look too damaged. But the 33 spins around. And you know what? Eric Hutton probably didn't want to see that because now he'll be on the outside for the restart. Give somebody else an opportunity to do what he just did. And now, what do you think about pitting now, guys? I mean, we might see some more yellows with the green-white checkered. I think if you're Hinton, I'd just bring everyone to pit road behind me and just try to jump these front two. If you can get them to cooperate.
We only have 2 attempts, and this is going to be one of them right here.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the only thing I think that'll save Jeff here is that, I mean, he's been snake pit all year. I mean, he's got how many second place finishes, guys? I think 3 or 4, and he's dealing with tire. I wouldn't want to be in his spot. I mean, they got 2 attempts here to green-white checkered, and he's gonna. I think the only thing that's gonna save him is if we get a caution. We get a caution, right? I don't know any other way he's gonna be able to hold him off.
AJ Stravato down to pit lane. It's a frustrating night for him. So this will be the first ever green-white checkered on Sim TV. Right now it's showing 2 to go, but it will come around and it'll stay 2 to go until we get that green flag in just a couple laps.
What do you think, boys? Rather be in the 48 or 88?
Honestly, I think I might want to be the 48.
You know, I doubted this 88 car. I didn't think he could do it, but with the quick yellows and that 4-wide pass he made a couple laps ago, that 88's looking really strong. I think as long as he gets a good restart, I think that 88's the car to beat.
Yeah, honestly, I think, I mean, really can go either way. It just really depends on how good of a restart that the 88 of Hutton gets. If you get the poor one, it's going to go to the 48. If he gets a good one, he might have a shot.
I mean, you know the 48's going to get the jump, but once we get into that second turn, depending on the, see how much fresher the tires are. I mean, 8-10 laps. I mean, he's still better than the 48. So I don't know, man. If I'm in this situation, I want to be the 88. Once he gets to the outside 48, I don't think 48's gonna stand a chance.
Quick question. Are we sure that this is properly set up for green-white checkers? Because I just got the final lap notification and my lap counter is still showing lap 170. There's two things that could happen here. Either we don't have a green-white checker, or the timing and scoring isn't set up properly.
It says it in the server that we're doing green-white checkered.
Interesting. So ATVO must not work with this yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is probably definitely not configured to work with this.
Interesting.
I was going to suggest you something to do earlier, just in case of this, but I forgot to mention it.
I don't know why it wouldn't work, but now we know. So I will let the guys at ATVO know this works. But we're not coming back to the checkers, so I'm going to make sure that doesn't display checkers.
I would say we are coming to the end of the scheduled distance of 170 laps.
Yep. So let's see what the situation's going to be. Yeah, it's not showing checkered yet, so I think we're good.
Yeah, I think ATV is going to struggle to figure out what on earth's going on.
Yeah, it's just saying final lap, but it's not displaying the white either, so... Well...
It's like watching somebody that just struggles to win, man. I got a lot of confidence. I mean, the guy's been dominating all race, but seems to be coming down the tires here, man, unfortunately.
Yeah, now it says checkered, but it's not checkered, so I reset manually
if I'm the 48, you get to my outside, I'm moving your ass up track. Because I've finished second too many times to give this up. So, you do what you got to do. Here we go. First attempt at a green-white checker, boys, on Sim TV.
Oh, boy. Coming back to the green flag. It's going to be 2 laps to go here in New Hampshire. 2 miles left. Is it going to be 48, 88, 13, 2, or 15? That's your top 5. Jeff Wright has led the majority of the last half of this race. He's got to hold off a hard-charging Eric Hutton in his first event of the season. Green flag back in the air.
Very good jump there. Got Eli to his inside, but I'm still saying them right side tires are going to be pretty good on that outside. We'll see, though.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. Here they come side by side. Hutton's going to potentially power it up. There he goes. He's going to power on the outside of 13.
Got a little loose there, though. He's closing slowly.
He's free of the 13. Now he's going to set his sights on that leader, the 48 of Jeff Wright. He's there. He's to the bumper. Coming back to the white flag. 1 lap to go. Turn behind him.
Saved it.
Sideways. Caution. No. We go.
Caution. 1 to go.
We stay green. White flag in the air. Last lap. Top spot. Jeff Wright. Eric Hutton all over the bumper. Here he comes to the inside. Right in the fence. Hutton spins. In the fence. The 88 crashes out of turn 2. It's Jeff Wright out in front. Eli Hinton closing from second, but he's not going to have enough time. Jeff Wright out of turn 4. Checkered flag waves. It's going to be Jeff Wright for the second time this season. He wins.
And Alex Bell steals second place away from Eli Hinton. Hinton will finish in 3rd. Brandon Gagnon will finish in 4th. And Mark Emerson, your top 5. Wow.
What a finish. And Hutton probably had it there had he just managed to keep it straight. But not enough. And Wright wins the second race of the season for himself after winning Sonoma back in race number 2. He's finished second a bunch of times since then, but back to victory lane for the 48. And celebration. Or a crash.
Oh, he hit the wall. Oh, boy. There's a car owner. This is great. It's unfortunate I had an Eric. That happened pretty fast, though, boys. I didn't get... I'm not really sure what happened there.
Well, let's take a look at it. Let's find out exactly what happened. But from what I saw, I think the 48 bounced off the wall, and I think Hutton just jumped out of the way to... Oh, there was a car upside down at the finish line, guys. We got to go back and look at that, too.
Yeah, I don't know if the 88 reacting to that or if he was already loose. I was trying to figure that out myself.
It looked like he right on. I mean, he's going for it. I mean, you got to go for it. The right sides are going to be a lot cooler than the lefts, but it looked like he just started to get sideways.
There might have been some net code there as well. I mean, we've seen that be rampant tonight. You see the 48 bounces off the wall, and it's only a couple inches between, but the 88 swerved left and smashed the wall. He ends up 16th. But let's also keep an eye on the 50 Lacatus. This is the last corner. The 08 gets turned off into turn 3. And then between the 18 and the 50, they come out of turn 4. And The 18 and 50 get together. The 50 gets turned up on his roof down in turn 1 after the checkered flag flew. Wow. Dramatic result there. But Jeff Wright wins. Here's a look at your results. Alex Bell, second place finish for him. Eli Hinton, third. Gagnon steals a fourth in the 83. Mark Emerson, a top 5. Alec Martinez, sixth. Lacatus, Tim Downey Jr., Eddie Trejo, and Elliott Butler. And Elliott Butler, Finian, after the night he had, a 10th. That's got to be a victory for him. All right, we're going to take a break here in just a moment. We're going to come back and bring you Jeff Wright, Alex Bell, Eli Hinton, and maybe a couple others to talk about their night and the crazy race we saw at New Hampshire here in Loudon. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back live to SimTV here now with, looks like 16th place finisher Eric Hutton. Eric, disappointment there. Had an opportunity to win the race. It wasn't meant to be. Coming out of turn 2, what happened?
Yeah, I was kind of worried about that tire call earlier, if that was going to be worth it, but it was. And coming out at turn 2 in the final lap, I just saw I had to run. I was watching his car, and I noticed he's going to get tight, so I figured he's going to hit the wall is what it was looking like. And so I kind of tried to hold it down low, figuring he was going to bounce off, and I just held it a little too low, too much wheel into it at that part of the corner. It just went down on me, so frustrating, but you know, happened for Jeff Wright. I think, what was that, second win maybe? I don't know. But yeah, it happened for him. Wish it could have been me, but you know, it was fun to get back out there and race tonight, so we'll see what the next time brings.
All right, Eric. So disappointment for the 88, but a great run and potentially a win there, but just wasn't meant to be tonight. Eric, thanks for talking to us, and congrats on a great run, just not a great finish. We'll see you later.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
We'll talk to, do we have Brandon Gagnon? I don't think we do. So let's talk to third place Eli Hinton, drive the number 13 Sim Motorsports Camry. Eli, tonight, kind of a interesting one to say the least. Some contact with a couple of drivers. I'm sure there was a lot of frustration out there on the racetrack, but a third place result, finally getting that 13 back inside the top 5 where it belongs. Walk us through the night and the craziness that you saw at your windshield.
Well, yeah, definitely had a top 5 car. I got some rear end damage at the beginning of the race, like under caution, but besides that, you know, kept the car really clean all night and was running top 5, and in my pit strategy, I was able to fix the damage because all those cars were lapped down, and thought I was going to be able to get a win there. But the caution came out, and we got a green-white checkered, which kind of screwed me over. But I thought Eric was going to be able to get to him, and then like they would fight it out, but that didn't happen. And I pounded the wall for 2 and ended up finishing 3rd, but I'll take it.
Eli Hinton, a third-place result for the 13 car tonight. Eli, thanks for talking to us. We'll see you later.
Yep, thanks.
Roll on through and talk to Alex Bell, who managed to steal a second place away at the end of the race. Alex, a great result there. You seemed surprised at a second place, but hey, you were up there all night just kind of hanging out, and you stole away a second from Eli Hinton at the end. Walk us through those last couple restarts and that last lap.
It's really insanity. We really didn't have that much speed in the car. After I got into Alec at the beginning of the race there on accident, I got loose underneath them. But after that, I decided to kind of hang out in the back and play it like a plate race. And we didn't have tires there at the end, so I really didn't expect us to make any passes. But it helped out a lot there when Eli got when they wrecked down the backstretch, I guess, with the 88 and stuff. That gave us a few more spots. But I'm proud of it, man. We didn't really try to do too much today, and we came home with P2, so that's pretty good.
It seems like this team, SWA Motorsports, has kind of hit their stride lately. We saw the 35 of Joshua Banks win a race last week at Dover. You've got 2 wins on the season and a second place tonight. What's changed lately? Because that team is running really, really well now heading into the chase.
Man, I know. It's awesome. We're peaking at the right time. I don't think anything really has changed. It's our luck has been pretty sour this year. I think once all of us on the team found our luck, we came out here and we're running a lot better. Hell, Brian has missed most of the season. He came back and he had a chance at a top 5 there. And Banksy's fast every week. And I think we're just getting better luck because this is the speed we should have been having all year. And it feels really great that we're peaking at this time of the year.
I think next week we head to the Charlotte Roval, if that's correct, and that's a road course race, and certainly a different challenge there, and maybe just a challenge to survive. And while maybe this week the challenge was to survive the other drivers, next week is a challenge to survive the track. Expectations? Fear going into next week?
Little bit of fear. I'm not a road course racer by any stretch of the imagination, so my goal was to get as many points as I could these last couple weeks to make sure that I wasn't going into the Roval in like a must-win situation or anything. But it'll probably just be more surviving about the track. I probably won't try to do too much there, and just save it all up for the playoffs so we can make a run at this thing.
All right, Alex, thanks for talking to us. Great result tonight for the 15 car. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
You too. All right, now we're going to talk to Jeff Wright, who is our winner. We're going to turn this over to Andrew Telganoff to do the interview for this one. He's excited. Jeff Wright in victory lane, second time this season. Andrew, take it away.
Jeff Wright comes out of the car. Come on, buddy. Come on out of here. Listen to the crowd. Buddy, you worked for this. They've been cheering for you. You've been second place all season. And finally, you come away with the victory, buddy. Damn, that crowd's loud. Other than that, buddy, I mean, you were the dominant car of the night. You had a little run in there with Banks, but tell me about it, buddy. I mean, you're back in victory lane where you need to be. You kicked ass all night, buddy. How was it, buddy? Just go through the night, buddy.
Yeah, man, I'm pumped right now. It's been a long time coming since week 2, Sonoma. It feels like a long time, especially since I feel like I gave away a few wins this season. You look at Richmond, where I led a few laps, and it honestly looked like it was going to happen again tonight. I thought I had the winning strategy. I saw the 88 going to take tires and had a handful of guys behind me, so I was like, all right, we're gold. We got this. And then, of course, iRacing comes out with their update, this week, and we have green, white checkered. So then I actually had to battle again. Super nervous, had the 88 behind me, and man, heart was beating pretty good. And got in the fence a little bit, but kept it straight. And hey, we got ourselves another win.
Yeah, buddy. Like I said, you were kicking butt all night. I mean, what was going through your head there? You had the green, white checkered, and then you had, I believe, a second attempt. I can't remember. But you knew he was on right sides. I mean, were you nervous, or it was? I mean, what's going through your head there when you got somebody on fresher tires and you knew that? I mean, he came from 7th. There,
yeah,
12 laps. I mean, what's going through your head there? I mean, is it a mind game to you? I mean, tell me, man.
Yeah, a little bit of a mind game on the restart. You just kind of trying to think, all right, what's the best scenario for me? Do I want to go early? Do I want to go a little bit later? You obviously want to get the jump. If Eric was side by side with me going into a turn 1 with those, I think he had 2 tires. It probably would have been game over. But I was able to get a good jump. I think the 88 and the 13 both had some tires on them. So honestly, I felt like a sitting duck. But once I got that 3/10 lead going into the corner, I thought I might have a shot at it. But the 88 kept getting bigger in my mirror. And I tell you what, I was sweating bullets pretty good there. But man, I'm so pumped to get this win. That's 2 on the season, and I'm having a blast in this league so far.
Yeah, and it looks like you wrapped up a spot in the chase. Right now, it looks like we got a 3-way tie for the lead going into the Roval at Charlotte. We know how good you are at road courses. I don't want to take too much time away, but what's the plan? You're already locked into the chase going into next week, but you get another win there next week, and you'll be leading it going into the chase. So what's the plan next week, buddy?
Yeah, with 2 wins and like you said, probably locked in the chase. It's just going to go for it. Go get another win. That's what I'm trying to do, especially on the road courses. I really like racing anytime we go to a road course. The Roval, pretty new to the iRacing. It's less than a year old, so I don't have a ton of laps on the Roval. Gonna have to do some practice. But road coursing is always fun, and it's going to be competitive. You saw how competitive Sonoma was this season, as well as the Indy road course. Had a lot of guys that were be able to compete there. But we're going to go for it. We're going to go for another win before the Chase, try to keep building on this momentum, and see what we can do here in the postseason.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on the win. Before we let you go here, is there any shout-outs you want to give? Anybody you want to give thanks to, buddy?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to the team, Dark Smoke Racing, all my guys that I race with. You got AJ and Angelo and Zach, especially for putting up sessions, practices. That always helps a lot. And especially AJ, he's the guy that's he's the one paying for those sessions and allows us to get on the track and test and try to get our cars fine-tuned and everything. And I'm just happy to get a win in this new paint scheme. First time I got this right, Speed Yard Toyota in Victory Lane. Back in the Sonoma, it was the Napa Toyota. So pretty awesome to finally get a win in this. And just thank all the league admins for always putting on a good show. And the broadcast team, Kyle and Finian, they do a wonderful job and makes it super exciting to go back and watch the broadcast. And I know a lot of people that, think they do a really great job, and they sure do.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you, buddy. And, yeah, good luck, buddy. Go celebrate with your teammates, team, everybody. And Kyle, go ahead and take it away, buddy. Jeff Wright, the winner of the night, at New Hampshire here. I'm a little excited myself as a team owner, but I'm going to let you take it away, Kyle. It's all right. You, buddy.
Well, typically we don't do much more than 4 or 5 guys, but tonight we're going to do 6. We got 2 more guys we're going to talk to. We'll bring in Brandon Gagnon in the 83. We'll chat with him real quick. He ended up finishing 4th on the night. Brandon, there you go. I need him back. Get him back. There we go. There's Brandon. Brandon finished 4th tonight, the number 83, one of the best runs that he's had so far this year. Brandon, kind of a chaotic night, but coming home inside the top 5 has to feel like a victory after tonight.
No, it feels great. I hate ever having to. No, I hate even having to lay back that far and even start that far back. But from what I can see in practice, my times weren't in the top 10, and I saw everybody getting loose off of 2 and loose off of 4. So I figured I'd start in the back and try and avoid all the chaos. I don't know why. Can you guys?
No,
Can you guys hear me?
Yep. Keep going. Is someone dragging Brandon back in here? What? Okay, hold on.
I don't know what's going on.
Guys, stop.
We're not. We're not doing anything.
We're not doing anything. I don't know what's going on.
Somebody keeps fucking with me.
Right.
I'm not doing it, I swear. I can go to audit log and see who's doing it.
Okay, I give up. Someone's screwing with it. I'm going to yell at somebody because they shouldn't be screwing with us right now. So unfortunately, Brandon won't get to get interviewed because someone's being immature. So unfortunately, I hate for that. But sorry, Brandon. I guess we're not going to bother doing any other interviews because someone's screwing around. So we'll leave AJ Stravado. We'll talk to him next week. That's going to do it for us tonight. Tomorrow we'll be at Montreal for the 3 Wide Yinzer Truck Series, 9:40 p.m. We'll see you. Have a good night.
Chaos and just kind of see it.